Yes, perfect. And they left this cold. Ah, thank God. They said it's been out here for like, they said it's been like this for 3 days, but it ain't that bad like you guys. But anyway, I'll get out here tomorrow. Thank you, thank you. Tell your family I said what's up. Tell the baby I said what's up, baby. All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye. These are good pillows. Ah, feels good. Better than being in the snow. Thank you. This bed has the best pillows. I use them all. Nice and soft pillows. Oh, I'm gonna try to get some sleep. You too. Good job. Good working. I know it ain't easy with the baby and a family, but thank you for helping me, and thank you for everything. Good night.
Hey guys. Of course I'm not ready. Of course I'm not prepared. But it is my second live stream. Hopefully things go well. Um I know there's been a lot of drama and a lot of going on this 2 weeks? This past week. You guys can hear me, right? Everything's going good. Everyone can hear me? But yes, there's been a lot of drama in the Power Ranger community. And I think everyone's like, hey, address it. And I think I have to address it, since we have to hear it from the horse's mouth all the time. We have to make sure that the horses speak, right? So, definitely, I think it's something, uh, things happen. And I think that, people are scrambling. People are nervous. People are private messaging me, telling me I should be ashamed of myself and that I'm a clout chaser and that I shouldn't talk about anything. So I don't know if they say that, Jason would be disappointed in me, but I don't think it's Jason they're worried about. I think they're worried about a certain Red Ranger. Um and their actions, right? So I've been hearing a lot about, we have to do things and uh, you know, people are say something and then they forget they say it and then they forget that uh, the internet is forever and ever and ever. But I want to just make sure. Sorry, guys. Of course, I didn't prepare. Um, I just wanted to say my um my piece of it, right? Because everyone has been asking me. So I'll make sure that I talk about it. Thank you, Wanda. I see with the super sticker. Thank you so much. Thank you, April. April says Jason is eternally proud of you. Thank you. Listen, I know that a lot of people are like, oh, you're a clout chaser and you're doing it for clout. No, I made a promise to Jason. And the promise was that I was always going to keep his social media alive, that I was always going to keep him alive. And that's what I'm going to do, whether people like it or not. I definitely want to make sure that his memory's there. Right, guys? So if people don't like it, I guess they can mute my channel. But let me bring up my savior, I guess. Um, Always by my side, always helping me out, Mr. Henry Resilient.
Like the stream, everybody. Like the stream. How's everybody doing in the chat on this fine Sunday?
Yes, two of America's Most Wanted.
You like that song?
Yes, I loved it. I love that you put that. Tupac was actually Jason's favorite, Tupac and Eminem. So every time I hear that song, I'm definitely think of him. So Henry, you and I have been, well, you.
Whoa.
I'm not gonna add myself into that situation lately. You dropped a bomb on Friday, and I think people are scrambling. I think people are feeling the pressure.
What was the bomb I dropped? I put out a lot of content, Francis, so you got to remind me sometimes.
Well, ASJ, Austin St. John, made a huge mistake.
Huge.
Huge, the biggest. And I think that he wasn't thinking. I'm gonna give him the grace to think that he didn't know about the situation at that time, but I think he should know now.
Oh, he's 100% aware. I mean, he's blocking pretty much any and everyone who brings up the fact that Jacob does have a criminal history. He's blocking those people. So you have to watch out for that. That's the same thing he did with Zach Taylor McGinnis. Basically, if you bring up anything that he may view as negative or his team, you will get blocked. So shout out to all of the Red Ranger fans over there drinking the Kool-Aid. Salute to y'all.
Or you could come to this channel and Henry's channel, and we'll just be the Austin St. John block team.
Oh my goodness.
I was blocked from his YouTube. I've been blocked from his Instagram since I was working with Jason, and now I was blocked on his YouTube. So if I'm blocked on YouTube, that means someone on his team is watching. So they're definitely seeing. I feel they're definitely feeling the pressure of what's going on, and I think someone our favorite Black Ranger said, "You gotta hear things from the horse's mouth," and since you have been showing things from the horse's mouth,
That's
there
all I do is quote them. That's all I do is quote these guys.
but it's funny, because it's almost like if you lie, right? When you make up a lie, you have to continue that lie. That's why, I'm not gonna say I've never lied because but if you make outrageous lies that you really can't just control, you can't really get a hold of and control, then you're kind of messed up. You know what I mean? You're really gonna be in hot water because you're not gonna remember that you said in an interview a few years ago you were a third degree, and now you posted something 4 months ago and you were a fourth degree. But four black belts, not fourth
Yeah.
degree, four black belts. And thank you, Dust. Like the stream, hear from the fallout of the nuke. Yes, a big nuke. So Henry, let me ask you. It's your time to be interviewed.
Oh,
How do you
really?
feel after
Yes.
dropping that bomb on Friday?
Well, it was a bomb that I've had for months. I mean, you knew about it. Some other people knew about it, but at the time I was like, well, it's not really appropriate right now. There's no reason to drop that. The prodigal son is a offender, whether he on the offenders list or not. He did mess with someone who was under 13. So I just held on to it, and I still got more bombs to drop, and it's just unfortunate. And hopefully now it paints the picture for the JDF fans of why Jason didn't really include, Jacob in many things. You like, well, he came out like people like, oh, I never knew he had a son. Well, yeah, because that was the goal. And I don't even want to get into the fact that like other people in the community has reached out to me and say, yo, he's scammed Ranger fans in the past. And what happened was they would make the angry post that they got scammed by Jason's son. He would see it, he would contact them, he would make it right, and all he would ask is that they delete the original post. That was his way of handling things. And unfortunately, because they deleted it, it's kind of hard to find that hard hitting proof other than people telling their personal stories or whatever of what happened in their interaction, because this is not his first time selling his father's merchandise.
So didn't want to start with that. So we'll come back to
Okay.
the nuke you dropped
Oh,
before you
guys, I have no idea what Francis plans to show you. She was like, "Oh, I got stuff, but I want to get your live reaction." So, I'm just here on a whim. All right, I'm just here for support. I have no idea what she's gonna say. So,
Well, I think, I want to see, it's your time to like get surprised since you be dropping, bombs on me and then I don't know. I just want to thank Robin. She's a new member. I don't really have any like cool things. You have to hit your soundboard. Thank you so much, Robin. So, just so that can you hear my little tururung every time it sounds?
yeah, you need to mute whatever your Instagram DMs are, your notification for.
Sorry, guys. This is a learning process. Can you hear me now? Can you still hear me?
I can hear you crystal clear.
Okay. Well, it's a learning process, guys. I am learning little by little to not mess up. So bear with me while I work these little kinks out. But prior to the nuclear bomb that Henry uh did, we were talking about lies, right? We're talking about people that lie. We're talking about people that would make up lies, and or let's not say lies, right? Let's be a little gracious. People would say things and then change it up, right? Or they will say like, one day they were wearing green, one day they were wearing white, another day they were wearing red. So it's just, different. Or like, he went through a window and the girl, he roughed them up really bad, stuff like that. So what we're gonna do, I'm going to so Henry, what made you, let's say, I know you're not gonna say, but what made you expose Austin St. John?
Well, it started with like the recent stuff, or like how far you want to go back. That's the thing. How far do you want to go back to the origins, or the most recent stuff? Because recently I start not necessarily exposing him per se, but just looking at his old interviews and looking up old things. And I would hear like the 900-year-old katana story. And I'm like, wait, you at 18, you had a 900-year-old katana?
1 second, Henry. 1 second. I'm having issues with my sound. Can you guys hear Henry?
Put a one in the chat if you can hear me.
Don't kill me. Don't kill me. 1 second, Henry. 1 second.
She like, there we go. One, they can hear me. They can hear me. They can
Yeah.
hear me. Yep. I said put the one, they can hear me.
1 second, guys. I'm so sorry. I'm so nervous. And I can't hear Henry now.
Oh.
1 second.
All right. Well, anyway, she can't hear me, so I can just talk my ish, if you know what I'm saying. So what happened is cool. She can't hear me. It's all right. It's the Henry stream on her channel. What happened was ASJ made that it's all Jermaine's fault that people striked. And I can hear you, Francis, by the way. And I was like, wait. It was all his fault. It was all Jason's fault. I was like, ain't no way in hell. It was all his fault. But so that sparked me to go look up other interviews. And once I start finding these old interviews, then other people start sending me interviews. And then it was just a snowball effect. And it was like, yo, here he goes. Here, I would hear these stories, and he would say, Jason said, yeah, he talked about how he, stopped some girl from getting kidnapped at a gas station. And I was like, that's cool that Jason said it, but we need Jason Lawrence Geiger to say it. And then lo and behold, that old interview where he's like, yeah, my girl, I was 18 and my girlfriend was about to get kidnapped by these, 4 guys who didn't look like me. And next thing you know, I cleaned them up pretty good. Okay. I cleaned them up. And they tried to sue me because I was white. I was like, hey, yo, what the fuck? They tried to really sue you because you was white? Yeah. And good thing we had surveillance tapes, because the tapes showed us that it was self-defense and all this other bullshit. And I'm like, well, did they get arrested or anything like that? Like, he was just like, oh, it was just, good that I knew the karate that day. My martial arts came in handy, blah, blah, blah,
Well,
blah,
talking
blah.
about, I finally can hear you, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Talking about martial arts, Austin St. John has said he was first at 3 black belts. Then he said he had
4 black belts.
4 black belts, and that I believe he said that at a fan word video. You know how much they like us here. They like us at fan word over there. But he also had a interesting Q&A he used to do like uh with his social media, and he actually said this about his belts. So let me play that for you guys.
Donald Scott, do
Can
you
you guys
have
hear that?
any belts in martial arts? Yes, I do. In fact, I've got some posts coming up.
Can you hear it, Henry?
I'm going to post a bunch of stuff on that.
Yeah, I can hear it.
Listen, man, I'm not one of these. I'm not a big mouth. I never have been. I don't like running off in the mouth about my ranks, my arts. Most of my black belts hang in a safe, and street oriented. People show up in their street clothes, and I teach you how to survive on the street. I've taught soldiers how to survive in combat. I work with cops. If you're looking for Randy Savage with black belts, or not Randy Savage, or Randy Couture, or you're looking for, if you're looking for guys with names and ranks, there's a million of them out there, and they're all accomplished and they're all great, and that's awesome. Go get them. But I'm not going to run off at the mouth. I don't. If you're looking for a mouth and an ego, then you're going to have to go to somebody else's Facebook page. You're not going to find that on mine. You want to have a class. You want to.
This is because, guys, I got like a old JDF post that I didn't even tell Francis about, where JDF called out Austin and said he has no black belts. 0. He made it public. He was like, no, he has no black belts. So he says he has them in a safe and all that. He's training cops and he's training soldiers. I mean,
So
I don't know.
what do you guys think? I mean, this sounds, I don't know if there's any martial artists here, but I know that Jason and I, when we saw this video, it was actually very interesting because people sent Jason these videos, right? It wasn't like that we would go and look at his videos. It wasn't that at all. It would be more like people would be like, "Oh my God, JDF, did you hear what Austin St. John said?" Because no matter what, right? A lot of the things, yes, Jason used to get on Austin 100%, but also like Austin used to throw jabs and like little sneaky things. And I remember when we got this video, Jason was like, "What? Who keeps their belts in a box, locked in a box?" And then it's almost like there's no way to know if he's telling the truth or not, right? I'm not a martial artist, Henry. I know you're not a martial artist,
No.
but when things sound like a rat, smell like a rat, geez, it's a rat, right? Because it's almost like, how could you have your belts in a box? That means you're obviously not using those belts because you're supposed to be this martial artist. And also, he then says, "I'm more of a street style martial artist." What is a street style martial artist? You're kind of contradicting yourself. You have all these belts, but you're more street smart, like a street art martial artist. And then he says, he teaches cops, he teaches soldiers, but we all know that he was not a soldier.
Oh my God.
I mean, we know that he was a medic, which again, I said it was a very heroic thing. I'm not downplaying it in any way, but be legit and be about facts, right? Don't glorify yourself and say that you were at the war saving, people getting their limbs blown up. No, that wasn't the case. Was what he did heroic? Yes, of course, of course. But when you start saying things like, "Oh, well, I'm more of a street style."
What is
does
street
that mean?
style? What is
That's what I
street
wanna know.
style?
What is street style? Because if you're talking to me about, "Hey, you know how to rumble in the street," then, then I'm a street martial artist too, because, like, if it's gonna go down and I'm gonna fight, I'm gonna fight, you know what I mean? It's kinda be like, this is gonna be me, right?
You want to fight? You got it.
Right? That's gonna be me, right? But, I mean, there's no such thing as street martial arts. I don't know. So, I don't know if you know, Henry, like, when we used to go to shows, Jason used to do martial art classes.
Yes. Yes, I actually have an old video of him doing one at a con.
And then all of a sudden, Austin was also doing street style, like in your clothes, classes. It's almost like, and I remember we had this conversation, Jason and I, because we had issues with his street team, right? With his social media team. And it would almost be that we would post something and a few days later they would post something very similar, but like the Chinese copy, right? So it would be like the bootleg copy of what we did. And
Yo, what the fuck?
and then Jason would be like, you know what? Don't even pay them no mind, because obviously if they're copying what we're doing, um, then obviously we're ahead of them, right? So it's this thing, this I think he's answering, he's like on a Facebook Live, he's answering people, and it's almost like he got caught off guard, right? And when you get caught off guard and you're gonna lie, you're gonna just keep fumbling and make up these lies, right? So thank you, Parabella, for the donation. Thank you very much. But I feel like when you're just caught off guard, you make up these lies, and it's almost like you don't know what you don't know what they're like, what exactly is the the truth. Because if you really are a martial artist, I know Petty said that she keeps her belt in a box, but Petty, I'm sure you have a belt, right?
Is it in a
And
safe though? Is it in
yeah,
a, is it behind lock and key like it's a firearm?
because I know that Jason would not let me touch his main belt. Like I couldn't touch it. Like even if we were cleaning and things like that, I was not able to touch it. I would make sure that he would touch it, he would put it away. I would never, and he would never let it hit the ground either. Like he would, like his room would be a mess, but he would never let his belt touch the floor, because to martial artists that's disrespectful, right? So that just caught me. I was actually looking through our messages and it was almost like, what is this? I was like, I completely had forgotten that he had said that, that he kept his belt in a box. But like, this is why you see like weird things, right? Because if you keep, fine, he would have been like, well, I keep my belts in in a box. That's not what the question was. The question was, you know, what belt, what's your martial arts history? But you open, you say, oh, my belts are in a box. Okay, well, that's not the question. That's not an answer to the question. But I think that he just was caught off guard. He didn't expect for someone to be like, yeah, um what's your belt history, right?
Yeah, replay the clip real quick. Replay it. And what's in the last minute and a half of it too?
Oh, we'll play it. I can't hear it when I play it though. You know why?
You
Donald
messed
Scott, do you
up.
I
have any belts in
did.
martial
You're supposed to
arts?
help me.
Yes, I do. In fact, I've got some posts coming up. I'm going to post a bunch of stuff on that. Listen, man, I'm not one of these. I'm not a big mouth. I never have been. I don't like running off in the mouth about my ranks, my arts. Most of my black belts hang in a safe. And most of what I teach is street oriented. People show up in their street clothes, and I teach you how to survive on the street. I've taught soldiers how to survive in combat. I work with cops. Um, if you're looking for Randy Savage with his black belts, or not Randy Savage, or Randy Couture, or you're looking for, if you're looking for guys with names and ranks, there's a million of them out there, and they're all accomplished and they're all great, and that's awesome. Go get them. But I'm not going to run off at the mouth. I don't. If you're looking for a mouth and an ego, then you're going to have to go to somebody else's Facebook page. You're not going to find that on mine. You want to show up and have a class, you want to learn, then we'll learn. You want to share knowledge, we'll share knowledge. I teach out of a studio in Delphus, Ohio. It's called Leaders of Martial Arts Academy. I just did a seminar out there several weeks ago. There will be a post going up on that here shortly. There were 9th Dons, 8th Dons. There's more Dons out there than you could don yourself to death with. And 99% of the time I was out there, I was in nothing but just training gear, period. A lot of the guys were mostly in training gear, except when they took pictures. They put on their formal gear and their belts and their rank. And I didn't even bring mine. Didn't even
You
bring
don't
it.
have none, motherfucker.
I don't have anything to prove. I spent 4 years in the Middle East. I've spent years teaching around the world. I don't have anything to prove to anybody. And I don't need to, because I don't walk around running my mouth. So
And I
anyway,
hate the facial expressions, right?
I've got several black
He's so
belts. Maybe
smug.
one of these days I'll
I
care enough to run.
know, I know.
Several black belts. He full of shit.
And then the problem is like it's like, oh, I have several black belts. I have them locked in key, like they're so precious. So it's almost like, what are you doing? Like what is exactly, it just sounds fake.
Yeah.
Sounds very not genuine. And it's and I remember um when Jason told me about when he first came on to the series, everything was more of like a challenge. Everything was more of, everyone was like, "Oh my god, um I he needs to almost like a competition," you know what I mean? With Jason, because Jason was a legit martial artist. Jason already had, I believe, 2 black belts or maybe 1. I know 1 at 12, but Jason was already, really advanced black belt.
Yeah.
So,
And
um,
what shoot it was a Shin Kwando said Shin Batman said ASJ is a grand master in fraud Kwando, guys. Oh my god.
you guys have no chill. And then I'm the bad one. I'm the bad one, right?
Oh my goodness.
So, oh wow, Dust, thank you, Dust. Oh no, the answer. Sorry about that. The answer. The military have their own martial arts program. So is he? Are we just catching him on another lie? Did we just catch him on another
Ooh, maybe.
lie? Wow.
Maybe.
And then Dust, thank you, Dust. Is he in imaginary land where he thinks he's really Jason the Red Ranger? The power coin is as fake as his belt. Oh my god. No chill. No chill. But I mean, let's think about it. If you are, it's just so we like what's that, like you just lie to lie. So I'm sure cops have their own system. I'm sure that the like the answer 06 said the military has their own system. They would not just hire Joe Blow from outside. I'm sorry, he might be Jason the Red Ranger to everybody, but he's not this big deal on the outside world. And again, the answer 06 don't need ASJ McDojo martial arts. Jesus, you guys are really. Then they say that we're the bad ones, that we're the
Yeah.
ones the most wanted. I think really it's people are just tired of the lies. I think really it's just people are seeing, a lot of people are seeing the lies more and more. Maybe, people are starting to take off those rose-colored glasses and
Well,
I'm
well,
sorry.
people are getting older. We're adults now. That shit worked fine when we were kids, and we're a little bit more gullible to believe anything. But your fans are like, in their late 30s, maybe early 40s. People aren't stupid. They're like, wait, you did what? You did that? You train people in the military? Like, are you Hacksaw Ridge? Like, what the hell's going on? Like, how many black belts do you have? You always say several. One video you say 3, next video you say 4. Like, can we just lock down a number? Can we lock one in?
And I don't think we are ever gonna lock down a number, because I think that every time there's something new. I know that in that recent um fan word video that I was able to watch, he mentioned a whole bunch of different martial arts styles, different things that you know he has studied. But I kind of want to go and be like, look up
Look,
these schools that he mentioned and be like, is this
the Delphi school is real, but that's where he filmed a trailer for this Salt video, this Salt movie that never came out. was like, "Oh, I'm about to be in this SALT project, and we're training hard.
What
Come
didn't
on
Salt
out."
become the redemption thing?
I'm not sure what it became. I just know the movie didn't come out.
Interesting. Thank you, San, for the donation. To train cops and soldiers, you have to be approved as a legit school. They would not invite a single black belt, let alone someone with no proof of certification. Jesus. And that's true. Like, I think that he expects, like you said, he's still dealing with the kids that we were when MMPR like existed. We're all older. Um, People like to dig and
Yes, yes.
find um and find things. And it's almost like what? Like what where is the line gonna end? And I think that I saw, I know you told me don't read these comments, stop reading them, stop, but I can't help myself. I just can't.
Told you, stop reading the comments on the videos, guys.
I know, but someone did say something which I see like a little change in the comments. There, are, of course, the haters and the people that are always that are sent by Austin and his team. But then there's a lot of people that are saying thank you for opening our eyes to the um lies. And a lot of people I'm seeing a lot of people say, like, we're tired of it. We're tired of hearing it. Like, oh my God, thank God you brought it up. And I also like seen people that say, we're waiting for your input on this, even for things that are not about ASJ, they're not about anything that we've discussed, but people want to know. They want to hear it. And they want to just make sure, like they just want it out there, right? Especially with what happened last week. And I think that in the end it's going to be his downfall. The lies, um doing things to kind of either one up Jason, who's gone, or one up you, one up us, one up you, Henry. And in the end, didn't do his homework. You do
No.
your homework, people. You do your homework. You don't
And
just endorse anyone. You don't just bring people up and then think that things are going to be okay. Like, sweet, if you don't do your homework. People have been calling him out, and so this was when Thursday that he or Wednesday, I don't remember when,
I don't, was it Wednesday or Thursday?
and it's now
Um,
Sunday, right?
yeah. And the thing about it is he has so much pride. He won't admit that he done anything wrong. Even when it came to supporting Zach Taylor McGinnis, he gave like some half-ass statement like people make mistakes and we can all restart or whatever. Some BS like that. But that video that he posted was 3 days ago.
Wow. So that was Thursday. If you
Yeah,
don't
so
count today.
Thursday he posted the Jacob Frank video, thinking that was like, oh, this is going to be some great press. February 22nd, this is going to be some great publicity. Look what I'm doing for my enemy's son. When all it really looks like is you're just trying to do damage control. And there's a reason why, like, Jason never put his son in the spotlight. There's a
And
reason. Go ahead.
no. There is a reason why. I'll let you cook. Go ahead.
There's a reason why you never saw Jacob in the spotlight. It's because of his sordid past. It's because of his history. It's because of how he treated his father during his father's rise to fame. So you take that all into consideration. It's like, well, why did he never put his son out there? Oh, because his son did A, B, C, D, E, F, G, all this stuff. And then now you got people like Jason platforming him, trying to sell his father's merch, even though in the past Jacob has been, like I said, caught scamming people with allegedly his father's work.
And then let's the answer 06, he says the Army Air Force have the Army Combative Program. So we just caught him in another lie.
Damn.
So they just keep flowing and flowing because during the show, I get it, right? A lot of people's response to us or us saying that he's a liar is he was 17. He's not 17 in this video, right? That we just showed. He was not 17 in the video we just showed. This was recent. This
This was
was
recent.
maybe a few years ago, but probably when he first started, maybe 2015, 2016. So the lies haven't stopped, guys. They have not stopped at all. They haven't.
It's who he
So
is. It's ingrained in his character.
so I once a liar, always a liar, I feel. And then to go ahead and try to one up, do damage control. Because let's be honest, this was damage control. Jason's son basically answered every video that been discussing about about Austin's martial arts. He said he's a great martial artist. I
Like
wish
that's
I had the I wish I had the uh stop the cap, because then it just answered. And then I'm in no way defending Jason's son, right? But he was being used. He's
he don't
being
see it.
and what's surprising to me is that he would let himself be used. But I mean, sometimes people um they the money is more
They in
important.
the bind. They in the bind.
But I really feel like he used, and when I mean Austin used Tammy, took pictures with Tammy, took pictures with Jenna, said we're family. We're family, but yet you let your agent say some heinous, heinous accusations, heinous, say he's glad he's Jason's passed and all this, but then your family, your family. The
Yeah.
answer of six, Navy Marines have the Marine Corps have MCMAP. So basically, we're just lies after lies. It's the answer's on him. Answer's like, stop the cap. You're not gonna trick us. You know what I mean? So again, I just feel like he is using Jason's family and using them, you know, and it sucks because now it's like Jacob came out of hiding, like a lot of people say, only to be met with backlash for not being honest in any way, shape, or form. And it's surprising to me that he played Austin's game. But we don't know what kind of contract that was. You know what I mean? It's almost like you post my store, and
I'll cut the video.
I'll cut the video. I'm Jason's son. I've never been out there. I'm gonna say that you're a great man and you're how
Great martial artist.
you're,
That's
you're
so odd to say.
you know what I mean?
Like, how does Jacob know about Austin St. John's martial arts background? How does he know he's a great martial artist? Makes no sense.
And then
Like,
it doesn't make sense. And
and you know what was even crazy? That was probably their first time interacting in their life. So you mean you didn't spend like 8 hours with him? You spent a couple minutes, probably an hour, maybe 2 hours, some time in the green room. Yeah, man. I know we had this media hype with your dad and shit, but it's another media hype surrounding me right now. Francis the attack dog is on my ass, and if you can help me,
I'm the guard dog. I was called Jason David Frank's guard dog, and I'm proud. Woof 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 woof. I will be the guard dog all day, every day, forever. So yeah, I guess and it's crazy because my thing is you went ahead and you told his family that would take care of them, that they were family, but then you lied. You didn't get rid of Zach. You're still with Zach, and you hate Jason. And you can and if you didn't hate him, you sure act like you do. You know what I mean? You're seeing these stories and flipping and switching stories. So talking about the strike, um Anime Freak 1983. True martial artists or masters won't call themselves great or say they are a master. And I agree with that. I don't think I've ever heard Jason say that he was a master, to be honest. I never heard him say like, "Oh, I'm a master martial artist," or anything like that.
Robin had a great question. She said, I have a question for you, Francis. How do you think Tammy and Jenna feel about the thing with Jacob? Well, I spoke to Tammy about
And I did too.
it. She told me, she's like, I'm just above the drama and, focusing on her own life. But yeah, he sometimes finds a way to come out every now and then.
And also spoke to Jenna, and my issue with that, with a lot of it, is that he said something that was very, I think if he would have left that out, maybe it would have been better, maybe it would have been better. Um and that was, he said, I am Jason David Frank's official fan page, right? Official, like, eBay
Merchandise. Yeah,
merchandise
yeah.
store. Come on, really? And then he says, "Yeah, my dad told me." When? When? When did your dad tell you? When? When, after he passed? Before? And if it was before, show proof. Come out with the proof. Where he says, I'm you're gonna be my official store. Like, let's um like be legit about this. But I know a lot of people have seen it. Let me see if I could bring it up. I can't bring it up because he has me blocked.
It's on Austin St. John's YouTube page. You can bring it up over there.
Oh, in the YouTube? Gotcha.
Yep.
Because he definitely blocked me.
Fair use. Make sure you pause it and explain,
Oh,
at
gotcha.
certain points,
I will.
I don't want them to get petty and get a
And they are
leg up.
going to be petty. Someone actually told me you're gonna get sued.
Me?
And yeah,
Holy shit.
that you're gonna get sued and things for you are coming and blah blah blah. So let me,
Holy shit, a lawsuit. Holy.
because you're telling the truth. Let me bring it up.
That's more content for me, actually.
Well, you know how that goes. How can I make it bigger?
Viagra. I mean, I don't know. It's formatted funny.
Yeah.
Um,
All right, guys, quick introductory. My name is Jacob Frank. Jason David Frank is my father. First and foremost, I wanted to give a big thanks to Austin St. John, Jason, for doing what you did for me last month at Comic-Con. I went to Comic-Con and I wasn't expecting anything from anyone.
Well, it's because
and
this is
you
not
lifted me up
from Austin.
and you made me feel good during such a
Real.
difficult time. Again, I wanted to thank you for your support, your kindness, and your guidance. You're such a down-to-earth individual, and I really.
So I don't know where I paused it, but what? Where did I pause it? What did it say? I can't-
he's down to her individual.
Oh my god! If I wish I had to stop the cap. Stop it. I wish, because it's you didn't meet him. You met him for 2 seconds. You know what I mean? It was literally, and even if it was, they spent the day or whatever, you know what I mean? Let's be honest, you don't know someone. You could be with someone for years and years and not really know them. And thank you, Janilda. She says, like the stream. Thank you. But let's continue. Fair use, guys.
Appreciate that, man. You inspire me. Real quick before I get into the collectibles, I'm aware that there was a media hyped drama built around my father and Jason, but that's all it was. Jason, Austin St. John, his character is truly that of a good individual, and so is my father's. That's all it was, media hype. They're both very great martial artists. Shout out to all the fans for showing your support and love to all the Rangers over all these years. You guys are truly appreciated. And without you guys, none of these people would be here today. So shout out to the fans. You guys are great, man. I love you. We all love you. Real quick, I haven't.
I mean, I don't want to hear him talk about all the
Media hype.
Yeah,
Media
oh,
hype and
media hype.
ASJ is a great martial artist.
Okay, so what? Come on, guys. Does this not sound like they were answering our content? Your content that I was on, because it's like the media hype for 30 years, on and off media hype. Um, Blake 8043 says, "Have you ever met Jacob or Hunter in person?" No, I have not. I have not met them. To be honest, uh, I didn't. I had interactions with them online. Hunter is very sweet. Never had any. Always very respectful. Um, Others not so much. Let's just keep it at that. But I have not met them. I met Sky. So Sky actually stayed at my home for a few days after Jason passed.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
Well, I have to admit it. I mean,
I know. She told me,
you know,
she's like, I was there when you were talking to her. I was
well,
listening. I was like,
because
shut
because look what it is. I love Jason, right? And I love
Yeah.
him. I really feel that Sky is a lost girl. I don't think she
Oh,
has I don't think she has a lot I don't think she has an evil heart. I don't think she's evil. I think she's just lost.
I agree
And
with that statement.
and I
I agree.
tried to help her. Um, and things just weren't she wasn't ready. She wasn't ready. I think if she were to um, if she were to grow up and kind of, get help for the hurt, maybe one day we could be friends maybe at some point, but not I don't think she's ready for that right now.
No, no.
Uh, I do remember. So I was present for when Jacob was scamming. Remember everyone would come and email Jason and say like, this guy says he's your family and um he scammed me and um I'm just going to say this about the Jacob situation, right? Cuz um everyone wants to hear what I think, right? And um I feel Sky, Francis tell the truth all the time. Sky, I don't have any ill will towards her. I think she is lost. I think she needs therapy. I think she needs legit people in her life. And I don't think she has legit people in her life. I still to this day don't think she has legit people in her life. And um I feel like the people that maybe she does have people in her life now, I don't really know. But, she also has toxic people herself in her life and they use her. And that's what happens. And maybe one day, she'll look back and she'll, apologize and for things that happened and she'll
But
look back and what? How come I'm hearing myself?
sorry. It was echo.
Uh, but as for Jacob, um, someone went on here and said, I should show him grace. I should not speak on him. But I'm gonna show him grace, the grace that he never showed me, the grace that he has not shown my family, the grace that he has did not show his father, or Tammy or Jenna or anyone. I'll show him that grace. But um I will say this. I know for a fact that Jason did send him things for him like autographs. I do know that for a fact. Um so do I think what he's selling is legit 100% legit? No. Do I feel some of it's legit? Yes. Because I know for a fact he did send him. Um because he would try really hard to have a relationship with his family. And he got burned and things would go sour and then they would stop and then they would go back. And to be honest, when I first met Jason, I'm a family girl. I'm a big family girl. You know what I mean? When I first met him, I didn't understand um the concept of what was going on in their life, because I was, it's been a long time. And I would tell them, like, look for them, look for your kids, how, like, you know, things that I don't want to say private things, but look for them because they're your kids. And at the end of the day, they're gonna be your kids. And he would try, and things would go sour, or he would get burned. And a father's a father, and he wasn't perfect, and he tried and he kept trying. And I'm sure that he did send Jacob some things. Did he tell Jacob that he was gonna be the official store? No, 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 I don't think that's the truth. But um with that in mind, to say that you are selling these items because you are going to buy a house for your family, don't lie. Like, just say you're going to sell them because you need money. Be honest, because at the end of the day, be honest. If you're honest, people will not would not need to expose you, or be like, yo, don't support him. Be honest. Be honest. And it's crazy because, you know what I mean? I'm going to show him the grace that he does not show me, because he has used my name to scam Jason's fans. He's used my phone number to scam Jason's fans. I have it all over my social media, just in case of anything. It's always there, because the internet is always there. It doesn't matter. So I'm going to show him the grace and say, yes, he does have legit items from Jason, but is he lying? Yes, he's a liar. Does he, his criminal past? Uh, that's all I got to say about his criminal past. Francis, have you ever met ASJ in person? Thoughts? Also, who do you think set up the ASJ Jacob arrangement? It feels like it was ASJ's idea. I have met ASJ. That's a good concept. I have met Austin. I've met Austin at the 2017 movie premiere. I met Austin. I went one day as a fan to Orlando, Ranger Stop Orlando, and we were actually in a hotel room party together. And that was an interesting story. And then I went with Patrick. I don't know if Patrick is on here. I went with Patrick to a con in Queens, and he was there. So yes, I've met him. And it's interesting that you say that about uh about ASJ. It might be ASJ's idea, because I actually found a video that was very interesting to me. And a lot of the people are saying, like, oh, I've seen a lot of the comments is like, I want to help Jacob, but his prices are ridiculous. They're so high. They're not good, right? So I found this video. It's really short. And it's gone now, like always. Things are deleted, like always. So let me just play it for you guys, and then Henry, let me know what you think.
I'm not going to let people. For 23 years, Haim Saban and collectors have made a ton of money off of me, and I'm not going to do that anymore. So as of this moment right now, I am sending out my very last unsigned pop, because that's what I promised, to who's getting it? Vanessa? Vanessa is getting it. That's the last one. From now on, any pop that I sign must be personalized. I'm going to sell the 406 signed in black ink for $100, not including shipping and handling.
Damn. Damn.
Everybody, but I'm not going to get robbed on them anymore either. So I got a couple other. If you are a collector, if you want one that is unpersonalized, here's the bottom line. I see them going online for $500 or $600.
No way. No way.
I will sell it to you, signed.
So what do you think about that, Henry?
I gotta look up this Funko Pop now. Funko Pop on eBay. $500 or $600. That is cap. I see 140.
Yeah.
I see 140.
When that came up, Jason was livid because it's like, what? $600. People can list on eBay. To defend him, I guess. Maybe it was when he first started. He didn't really know the concept of eBay and what's going on. People can list whatever they want, but
Yeah.
they were not selling for that amount, right? So yeah, and I remember, I'm gonna be honest, Jason was being petty. And to Jason was so about the fans. You know what? I mean, I remember he did a video like, hey, you could take hand sanitizer and wipe off the name and look, hey, it's not personalized anymore. Because it's like, so like, you know what I mean? Because it really it really upset him because it's like $600. And that video kind of reminded me of what's going on now with the listings of things 6,500 with 3,500. Who has that in this right now in this economy? You know what I mean? And it's almost like everyone's been saying, a cash grab, just like this video from Austin was a cash grab. Blake 8043 says, were Hunter and JDF close? Thanks, Francis. I don't know. They were family. They're family, and again, Hunter was very respectful. Never disrespected Jason or anyone around him. In my opinion, I know that Tammy was very fond of him, and he never asked for things, and you have to really think why Hunter kind of disassociated himself from everyone. It must be a reason. You know what I mean? And I know that Henry, you said Henry Digging found things that I didn't even know. That Hunter had opened a restraining order against his brother. So, that speaks
It's
a
very
lot.
telling. Yeah, it speaks
Yeah.
volumes that
And
he would to go that far to say, "Hey, look, I don't want you in my life." That says a lot without saying a lot.
And I think sometimes you have to separate yourself from things, from people, even if they're family, even their blood, friends, romantic partner, if they're not good for your mental health. And it might seem cruel and it might seem like upset, but it's your mental health comes first. You know what I mean? Your mental health has to come first. Um, so it reminded me a lot of this. So I don't know who brought the idea of who, but I'm sure it was a consensus. Like he wouldn't. I mean, he obviously didn't do his homework on who he was endorsing, but I'm sure he
No, he
was
did not.
doing his homework on what the objective of that endorsement was, right? And we talk about the strike, and it's so many different stories, and he says that uh it was media hype, but since they're saying hear it from the horse's mouth, and you have to hear things from the horse's mouth. Amy Joe and Jason and David, they have never changed their story on what the strike was. And it's interesting to me that they never it's always the same thing, right? And I'm going to play a video from Amy Joe. It was Amy Joe and Jason at a convention in Denver, and they talk about the um strike. So, and they don't change their story. Their story is the same thing over and over and over. So let me bring that up for you guys.
Yeah, I never
Because
heard this.
it's a lot of people are just saying like, oh no, it's not the truth. The just because they don't
It was in the
change the
script.
story, it doesn't mean that
She's like, do I really have to do this in the
that
script?
they're lie, right? That they're telling the truth.
But yeah, I like them
think
both.
that
On a rock.
if you weren't
No, we
telling
weren't
the
on a rock.
Oh, we
truth,
It was
you
kissed on
would
a
command
rock.
center.
mess
We
up,
kissed
right?
on a
Like
rock.
Don't tell
certain
her.
people that one day they're third.
We weren't
they-
even
three
filming.
black belts,
Okay.
and one day they have 4.
All right,
You
thank
know,
you.
you would.
We got a lot of people who
definitely
have questions, so just try to
always-
keep it
if
to
you're
one question,
concise
please. Thank you, guys. Hi, what's your
on
name?
everything that
My
you
name's
say,
Ricardo. You can call me Rick
that
if you
and
want.
you're the same way
My
always,
question is,
then
Rick,
you're
if you
probably not lying, right?
All right.
So let me play that for you guys.
want. My question is for both Jason and Amy Joe. During, like, how was it during the filming of the second season when your 3 fellow cast members left the show? Like, what changes occur, and like, what was your thoughts or reactions to that?
Good riddance. No, I'm kidding. It was a strange turn of events that happened rather quickly. I think within 2 weeks, everything went down, if I remember right. And I was incredibly naive, and I didn't even have an agent yet. And I was like, I don't even, oh, my makeup's smudging. I'm not as naive now, guys. But I didn't really even know what was happening. Like, it had to do with unions and stuff, but it just all happened so quickly.
It did. I mean, everyone had certain reasons for it. I think me, Dave, and Amy were kind of like a group of 3, and they were a group of 3. We all got along, loved each other. It's just Hollywood. That's
I
just what
can't.
happens.
Are they done talking
I
about
just
the stream?
remember as a film, doing a film, we had to like doubles, and that was just a nightmare, wearing different colored shirts. And I didn't understand how we were shooting or directing or anything like that. I just remember like, how's this going to work? You know, I didn't understand. Like, let's shoot over the shoulder, and the guy in the red shirt, like, what's your name? David Dunn.
Oh, because they never came back
Yeah,
to work.
and then we had to finish the scenes.
Oh, I didn't even know
I
what
was
was
like,
going
oh.
on.
It was just like, yeah.
What's happening right now?
But
I
Anyway.
think you have
it
to tell
just,
me
you
how
know,
you
it started
over,
changing the
'cause-
cast members. Now we have over, I think, 130 Rangers in the whole
Yeah.
entire franchise.
It was like
Like that.
menudo. Although you probably don't even know what menudo is. Oh, you do. Yeah, right? Like kept changing out, right? We were superhero menudos.
That's it, Rick.
Fair use,
You heard
guys.
it.
Thanks.
All right, that's it. Yeah, no mention of them being a part of the strike and changing their mind, ironically, huh? I don't know, man. You know, some people get that. Well, they agreed to strike with us. They gave me their word that they were going to strike, and then they didn't strike. Like,
I found another. Actually, I have my ninja watchers and ninja people. You know, they're like, "Oh my god!" And we found this. And I wanted to thank my anonymous funder. Thank you so much. He funded the stream. Thank you for that donation. I don't have like any.
I think I got one for you. I got one. Oh no, I got one more.
I got money.
There we go.
Thank you, Henry. I actually someone sent me this this interview where it's Amy Joe, David, and Jason. And Amy Joe talks about meeting with Walter a few years ago. So a few years after the whole like recent. It was like in 2021. So she talks about going and meeting Walter in 2021 after the whole thing, and she talks. It's very interesting what she talks about, and you guys definitely listen to what she says happened in that dinner with Walter. And you know, remember, Walter is Mr. You don't make sure you hear it from the horse's mouth, right? So let's
Yes.
make sure. Let's go and hear what she has to say about meeting Walter in 2021 for a dinner. Let me bring that up for you guys. I just want you guys to really hear it and take, really listen to it and let me know, Henry, what you say, okay?
Okay.
Here you go.
Dinner with Walter, and I haven't seen him in years. That was a whole kettle.
Did you guys talk a lot about a bunch of stuff?
Yeah, I hadn't heard his perspective of it because I hadn't really had a sit down chat with him, and it was like really an interesting conversation. That would be an interesting conversation to have someday with all of us.
Yeah,
like in front of an audience.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll kick it to the powers that be, and let's have it at GalaxyCon.
And I would, as an equity guy myself, I appreciate both perspectives on it. So, but Kelsey, great question. Thank you on that.
But you know what? So do I. That's the interesting thing. Like hearing that, I was like, oh my God, I was like we were 21 years old. We were so young. I didn't have an agent. I had just got to town. I knew nothing. Right. So it is an interesting conversation. Moving on.
There's I want to get
I'm listening.
all that fun stuff. But and everybody involved has publicly kind of said their thoughts on this as well too. But you're right. Maybe someday we get everybody together and we compare notes and see what
people love inside baseball on these things though. I do.
Yeah, they like the behind the scenes gossip.
Yeah.
More so than if you weren't the Blue Ranger, what color do you want to be?
I agree, David. That's much more juicy to talk about the non-union. Oh, JDF's here.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I mean, I see it, but I don't see him.
Where is he?
See you all.
Yeah.
Do you, Francis?
Oh, he's in a helicopter.
Let me put it.
I'm actually trying to get better reception.
Do you remember where you were supposed to pause it at? Is it after when Jason talks? Does Jason?
I was just wanting to talk about that.
That she had lunch
Dinner
with Walter. I mean, it wasn't the juiciest of clips, but
but it's what's interesting is she says, if she was with it from the beginning, right? She would have been like, we changed our minds. She said, oh, I saw his perspective of the situation. So it's almost like
she wasn't aware
of what really they were planning. So if you were part of negotiations or part of from the beginning, you were gonna go ahead and do these things with Walter and Tui and Austin, you would be aware that they were fighting for union and all this stuff. And she is oblivious. She's been in constant interviews. She says, I didn't have an agent. I didn't even know. I didn't know what that was. I didn't know anything of the sort. So it's almost like she wasn't aware of what they were doing. So if she was part of the negotiations from the beginning, she would have known.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
That also proves, and they've never changed their perspective on the strike from the beginning. They have always been clear that they were not going to leave. They were not going to leave. So I think that it's clear that someone's not saying the truth. And
of course,
when someone flip-flops and changes their story, then I automatically think you're lying. And it speaks a lot to your character if you're constantly changing stories. Amy Jo, David, and Jason never change their story. They are constantly speaking of, the whole we weren't gonna leave, the three weren't shipped to the Peace Corps. It never changed. It never changed for them. So they could stop the cop about the whole Jason Frank backstabbed me, and he backstabbed us, and that's the reason why we it didn't work. Even I remember Jason said in an interview that even if they all six would have banded, he thought that Savan would have changed them. And I agree. I really think Savan would have changed them all, because to them, they were helmet heads. And then there's, they after David Frank, Jason had a lot of power. He had a lot of power in the end of the show. And, that's why I think that Saban gave in to, make sure he was content, because he had a lot of power. And once Jason was like, I'm leaving, he was like, well, we're changing everyone, right? We're changing everyone. Let's go. Let's it's not gonna I'm not gonna let someone have that power. And another thing that moving on to another lie that we're exposing and thing. There is something that everyone's saying, well, Jason was the one that kept talking about it, that kept talking about Austin. Austin never responded. Um, it's, a lot of like, oh, Austin never responded. It was all JDF. And I know for a fact that Jason sent an email and tried to send a letter and tried to like squash the beef because really there it he grew up and he got, he went he was tired of, the constant thing, but this is something that I think is very important. I think a lot of the beef really happened between us, the fans, and the teams, right? Um, when Austin came into the picture, it was, his team, red is the new green, and let's make
All that Susan
sure,
Matassi shit. Yeah.
red is the new green. Let's make sure like he's gonna beat Austin, and you know, uh Austin's gonna beat Jason because everyone's so hype and everything's so great, and no one's gonna, he's they manifested their hatred of um everything, of Jason towards the fandom. And yes, like this is something that I said to someone, I'm not here to make people not like Austin. And I don't think you're here to make people not like Austin either. I think that you're just saying the truth. If you're lying, you're lying. If you're
First off, I don't ever lie on anybody. I always use their words or court docs. So when people are like, oh, they're going to sue me, I'm like, well, first you got to say like, well, he is lying right here. And then you got like, is it a lie? Is it a lie that, people donated to movies for perks that they never receive? And, their only recourse is, hey, you should have read the fine print. That's not a lie. Is it a lie that you said you beat up 4 guys at a gas station and they never said they got arrested? Like that's not, it's your word. So it's always interesting when you hear these celebrities say they're going to sue, and it's like anti-slap laws, because back in the day, if you were a celebrity and let's just say Francis or me was saying some shit that you didn't like, you would try to sue him for defamation and to get him to shut up or whatever. And then they created these anti-slap laws to stop that from happening. So it'd be interesting if it really is true. It'd be more content for me for sure.
of course. But it's almost like, Jason, and this is what I've gone up back and forth. Jason was not perfect, right? And he admits it a lot in a lot of interviews. And I actually found an interview where he admits like, hey, I'm not perfect. I did talk crap, but I extended the olive branch to Austin and I got ignored.
Wait, you got
Right?
the email saying that?
No, I haven't. I'm not releasing the email.
I see. I don't know what you really
I am telling you of an interview where Jason, what's funny? Everyone wants me to release stuff, right? And then when I say, then if I release stuff and they're not, it shatters their rose-colored glasses toward of, their favorite ranger, I don't want them to get upset with me. You know what I mean? Because apparently, I have this power.
in the controversy.
Yes, I have so much power, and I'm going to convince everyone to hate Austin and everything. No, it's about being consistent. Stop lying. You keep mentioning this man that is gone, and he's not here to defend himself from whatever you're saying. And it's kind of sad that has to happen, because a lot of people are like, well, Francis, um you're just using it for clout. No, I'm not gonna sit here and let someone talk about my friend and not really, like, you know what I mean, like, just say whatever you want and not say anything, because it's unfair. You had your chance to talk to him about him when he was here. You had your chance. You didn't do it. You didn't talk. You would throw your little jabs and whatnot, but never would you say it in his face. You know what I mean? Or address things in his face. Um, and that's sad because now you're
Ooh,
that's
I've
sad
seen
because
this before. Good one. That's a good one.
so influence films, ASJ will make people not like him by being the grifter he is. Call him out and his lies or goes and he lies or goes non-responsive. Jerry DF experienced it and now fans are. That's an interesting topic because I agree. I think that if they had their beef, they had their beef. I had issues that I can show you screenshots of me going back and forth with his team and all that, but never have myself or Jason been like, don't follow Austin. If you like Austin, don't like me, right? That never happened. That was never something that we wanted or even brought up. But was Jason vocal about not liking Austin? Heck yeah. 100%. He was very vocal about it. And was he vocal about him being a fake martial artist? Yes, he was. But Austin also would say, Jason would talk about Mac Dojos and all this stuff. So, it just happened to be that way. So let's hear what Jason has to say about actually let me see. Let me do the subtitles so I can know what we're talking about. So here you go, guys.
Online, I highly encourage and tell you right now that I'd love to
Fair
do
use.
a panel with all the originals, including Amy. I don't know if she's available. We have no issues. I mean, we don't. I haven't talked to Austin all that much except the movie premiere. That's all old stuff. That's just stupid stuff. And right now with the internet is like, hey, what's the beef? What's going on? There's no beef. Now's the time where everyone get together and just get along.
I'm so happy you addressed that elephant in the room, because that's something, and I'm so happy to hear that, because honestly, now that I'm an adult and this is kind of my profession, as a child, I looked up to you guys. So I'm so happy that you guys, that's all settled. And listen, we know this, you and I both know this, the internet rumors just spiral out of control. It just happens.
It's spiraling out of control and it's putting people's lives in dangers, including mine at Phoenix Comic-Con, because all this.
So this was before.
Whoa. Phoenix Comic-Con?
This was after Phoenix Comic-Con, right? I'm gonna let him. I'm gonna address him and I'm gonna let him cook.
Austin sent the hitman.
Well, guys, I'll tell you, there were a lot of rumors, but here he's saying, I think I might have skipped a part, or I might have done it. Maybe I should have pushed it back a little bit, where he's saying, the fans are the ones that kind of, they want to hear the gossip, and it's almost like they'll go to Austin's Q&As and talk about Jason, and they'll go to Jason's Q&A and talk about Austin. And it was basically like people would just, continue it. And he talked about, I have to check it back, but he did talk about emailing Austin and it being ignored and being ignored. And in here, again, he addresses the whole doing a panel, doing a
panel with everybody,
together with everyone, because he knew it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if there was beef, right? Because we all know there definitely was beef. There's not, they would downplay it because that's what they do, right? That's what you should do. If you are an actor or an actress and you're in the limelight. But I do genuinely think that he would have easily worked with him if they would have all came together and done like Power Ranger all together, like either a Q&A or like a convention. And he was very constant. He constantly mentioned it. He mentioned it in the beginning. He mentioned it now. This was after Phoenix Comic-Con. So a little backstory about Phoenix Comic-Con that no one knew, or I don't know if it's out because I don't know the records are out. The person, Matthew Sterling, that tried to shoot Jason, he basically said that Jason, in his mind, he said Jason was a horrible person, that Jason was like did did Austin dirty, and that he messed up his family. So and he even said that he stabbed Jason years ago. So years prior to that. And Jason was like, I've never been stabbed. I've never been stabbed. I don't know what this guy's talking about. And the guy basically said like he was out of his mind. And it's because we don't know who a lot of the times, and this is why I get like a little concerned. We don't know who's behind the screens, right? So right here we're having a discussion. People might not agree with what I am saying or anything like that, but we don't know who's behind that screen and what their mental capacity is. And they'll take this legit. They'll think that they're legit fighting, that there's a legit um hatred. And I think that yes, they did not like each other, and they might hate each other, but not to the point that it would be like, well, you against me and me against you type of thing in real life, other than the exhibition fight that Jason wanted. So let him cook about the Phoenix Comic Con.
This underground stuff. I had a fan that possibly knew the guy, that the whole underground beef was he's believing Austin's side of the story and believe there's no Austin side of the story. It's fans that choose to take those sides, and it's fans that choose to take my sides. So in reality, you're going back to what gangs used to be, what Tupac and Biggie used to be. Now you have the Comic-Con world where we don't like the Green Ranger, we like the Red Ranger, we don't like this, we don't like that. So I have an idea, let's just go kill these people. It's becoming dangerous. The whole internet rumors are becoming dangerous, and no one, it's when Comic-Cons are changing and making rules to make it safe and make it better. It's not me, it's not that guy ruined it all for everyone. This is the world we live in. This could have happened in any other event around the world, like in Manchester, all these other sporting events.
So I agree with what he was saying here. And I feel that all of us, I'm include myself, we also bring that up. We also hyped up the beef. But someone said, you don't know Austin's son, John, why don't you like him? And I don't know him personally. But I have seen behind the scenes things that upset me and upset my friend. So if you're my friend and you hear someone that is that is insulting me or anything like that, you shouldn't be comfortable with that person. You shouldn't be comfortable with her, with that situation. So I won't feel comfortable with Jason, with Austin, after he, insulted, ignored the emails, didn't, he just wasn't someone that I would be friends with after everything that happened with Jason. So, what do you think about what Jason was saying, Henry?
Oh, yeah, it definitely does get taken out of proportion, and there are people who are crazy enough to act on this quote unquote media beef, media hype, which it definitely was not hype. And it's just unfortunate that people pick sides per se, but people are always gonna pick sides. But I agree with you. If you my friend and someone is dissing me, and they try and they talk to me, and then I see you befriend the person who dissing me, I'm gonna think you be dissing me too. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, either I hate to say that you with me or you ain't, but there's no I'm friends with both. No, no, no. If you friends with, Austin, you just stay friends with Austin. And you stay over there.
Exactly. 1 second. I totally lost my train of thought right now. But I it's not, again, it's the beef. I think the beef is gone. The beef is over. One side is gone. There's no way that it's gonna be,
It's gone.
he's not gonna have that answer, right? He could say whatever he wants, but there's not gonna be an answer, no one to rebuttal him. So yes, sometimes we do answer, and we do, be like, what, like, it's messed up. But at least on our end, right? I never was like, hey everyone, um don't like Austin. You know, don't like Austin. Don't. Everyone has their choice. Everyone has their opinion, but there's also things that are being shown, like what happened with this endorsement, right? So you endorsed someone that you didn't do background. You are, practically putting someone that might not be safe out in the open. And you're also not, now instead of addressing the situation, you're blocking your fans. You're blocking people that generally, he's blocking everyone.
Oh
Right?
yeah, yeah.
So it's not, so when I say everyone, they're not checking if that person is a long time fan, and all of a sudden, you know what I mean, like a long time fan, and then all of a sudden it's kind of like, hey, we found this out. That he cannot blame, or his team cannot blame um anyone for asking the questions, right? For asking the questions like, hey, is something going
Yeah.
on? Like, who is this guy? Did you guys do a background check? Because this guy doesn't seem legit. Like there's something wrong. And there's people that knew about it, and or have heard of, Jacob's um, you know, past. And it's almost like, what why aren't you like why are you blocking these people without giving them at least an answer, right? So when you start blocking people, and even your close friends, your lines are going to get smaller. Your interactions are going to get
Oh.
smaller. People are not going to want to be your fan, because you're being disingenuous. You're not being honest. You're Instead of being like, hey guys, I messed up. I messed up. And I didn't do my homework. I didn't do my homework. I didn't know what was going on, and it's my mistake. So here you are bringing in, your enemy's son that you didn't do a background check. Now you're putting his stuff in the limelight. Now you're bringing him into the light. Now everyone's gonna pick and choose. Maybe not everyone's gonna dig like you digged, but people are talking about, hey, um, you hey, he scammed people before, or yeah, we heard about this, and yeah, hey, we know about that. So it's it's sad, because this is not the first time, right? This is not the first time that it's happened. They constantly block people. They constantly bring up drama and hate, and it's sad, because I don't think they're gonna learn anything, because if they were more like, again, at least listen to the fans and be like, hey, I messed up. We messed
How
up.
can you listen to the fans if you're blocking them that don't align with what you want? So now what you have over there at FanWord and ASJ Facebook is an echo chamber. Hey, I want people who's going to put their goddamn hands in the sand and give me money. That's it. If you're not willing to do those two things, hand in sand, give me money, then why are you here? Why are you here? It's unfortunate though. I mean, but you touched on the fact that it's the long-term implications of Austin St. John just blindly blocking people, for mentioning things. And when you're doing that, you could be blocking your biggest fan. You could be blocking someone who's about to spend, thousands of dollars with you at your next Comic-Con appearance. And because they asked you, hey, what's going on with Zach Taylor McGinnis? Or, hey, did you see the video about Jacob's criminal past? Now you've just blocked that opportunity. And now, not you just block them right then and there, you've blocked them for life.
Exactly. And look, Influence Films, who came up on your last stream, he was a fan of Austin, and they blocked him. They blocked him because he asked for his Tumblr.
Yeah.
You are a long-time fan because you didn't want to give the Tumblr, or because you don't want to admit that you made a mistake. That's crazy. And then yet they want to blame Jason for, the short lines, and he messed them up and he backstabbed them and all this stuff. But really, you are doing it to yourself. You're doing
Yeah.
it to yourself at this
And
point.
and look at influence. He said, I've supported ASJ for years. I've donated to the redemption Kickstarter. He showed his redemption comic. So you just block someone who supported you for years for a $70 tumbler.
And let me be clear. With his pending legal
Oh my God. Don't even-
situation, I think he should be grateful. He should be more than kiss the feet of the people that are supporting him, because at the end of the day, whether he stays out of jail or goes in jail or is guilty or not, that he already has that tarnished label, right? And you should be grateful that these people are still willing to be your fan, despite the government having 95% conviction rate. And people, and someone said on your comment, oh, stealing from the government, that's like low on the morale.
That was probably him.
You stole from the American people. Do you know how many companies closed in New York City because they couldn't get the PPP loan? But yet I was going to say, you and your people, or how many, 18 people, got tons of money and used it for personal things. And these companies that were for 10, 15 years, that were the only income for these families, didn't get that. Saniraka said, do you think ASJ's team wants the drama to keep him in the limelight? I've said he needs to clean house. They will end his career. Yes, they like the drama. They are drama. I'm no longer I don't think I'll ever be someone's personal assistant again, or be in with an actor or something like that, or in the Power Ranger community ever again. So I have no reason to continue anything like that. But let's be honest, this drama keeps him ready and available. People now want to come and to be honest, people want to hear his side or hear like what's going on, or they're more engaged now with him, right? But it's like a double-edged sword, because there's also people that are seeing things that there are red flags about him, right? So I actually have dealt with his team for a long time, and I've obviously not their best friend or likable, but they have done this forever. So this was a long, long time ago. And I was I was really new with Jason. I very raw. I didn't know about social media. I would I would basically like just speak my mind like I do now. I don't really care. Like, I don't care if people don't like me. Like, it just doesn't it's not something that I care about. But
Oh my
they would
God. This is
continue-
horrible.
yeah, they had this thing against me, right? And that's fine. I didn't care, because I remember I'm from New York. I wasn't really into the limelight. I didn't really know anything about being like known, right? Well known, or people following me. I would just talk, right? I would just say whatever I wanted. Um, Sorry, guys. Let me read what Red Buick said. Thank you so much for the donation. Francis, you know what a good friend Jason was to me, especially when I was near death from heart failure. I don't care what ASJ, aka Scammer Supreme, and Jacob Frank do or say. He was real, something ASJ isn't. And
Facts.
and I know Red Buick, and I know what he's talking about. Um and he I know that Rebuke was very sick. I believe he had heart failure, and Jason would constantly reach out to him and talk to him, and make sure that everything was okay. And he was and I'm talking about online, and not like never for like $1, never because who would come on, and pay his way. No, like at Red Buick would probably he never would take his money. He was like, I don't want your money. So it's not like other people that have to pay to get the attention from the actors. But I understand what he's saying. And it's something that I don't think ASJ has with the fans, that connection with the fans. And it's probably because of these people that he has running his page. And so I don't know if you guys remember there was like a Ask Me like web page, and people could write anonymous questions and you would answer. And of course, I was like, what? I was like 24. 25. I was young, you know what I mean? Like didn't really I didn't really like think about it, right? Because I was never in the limelight. So I would be straight up and talk my truth. And I'm just gonna read this. This is on a private group. So people would tell us like, oh, Austin Street Team or social media, they have like their private group where they just talk crap about y'all, like nonstop, anything. And she says, I want to address this in the group in case you questioned or hear trash talking going on. The truth is not trash talking, but okay. I don't want to make a huge deal out of this because frankly, her accusations aren't worth my time. I want to make sure you or our captains know the truth. For those that don't recognize the name, that is Frank's admin assistant. The one he says doesn't exist because he does everything himself. Yeah, right. Let me stop. Jason never said he didn't have an assistant. He said that, he would do his social media. He would want to do his social media. He would spend hours upon hours on social media, answering the fans. You know what I mean? And so he would do that. And yes, he would say he doesn't have an admin, like he don't have an admin answering questions. Like in other, like Austin, they'll say like Team Austin. I never responded as Jason. Like if I were to go to respond, I would respond as Francis. Francis answered, not not under his page, right? Um, there is some truth in what she said, but her thinly veiled accusations and pokes at me are easy to see through her fox professionalism. Do I block troublemakers? Yes. Do I sometimes do a preemptive strike and ban someone before they can start trouble? How do you know people are going to start trouble? So everyone that's been banned, that's probably what they're doing just before you even say anything.
I've never even made a comment on any ASJ Facebook, Instagram, or anything remotely like that. So they had to look my ass up and click ban or block.
Have I banned, blocked JDF ambassadors from Austin's and my own accounts? Yes. Do I do it for no reason or just because they're JDF fans? No. Stop the cap. Stop the cap. Okay. Do I think that a person can be fans of both men? Yes. But I'll show you later on why that's a complete lie, right? Do I think a person can be fans of both men? Yes. Has she done the exact same thing that she's accusing me of? Yes, absolutely. Which people like, to be honest, you could probably go on Jason's page and talk wild, crazy stuff and never get blocked. Your comment might got deleted. And the only way that would happen is because Jenna was at that time very young. And there were sometimes even inappropriate comments, like people would say really bad things about Jenna. And he didn't want her to see that, right? And Anime Freak says, well, only reason I know Susan could have blocked me was because I didn't switch teams. So I'm sure that happened a lot. She seems to forget that I did the same things for Frank that she does now, but I did even more because he gave me that responsibility as was his prerogative. I have heard from several people that Frank is blaming things on the admins that he let go. He can't seem to take responsibility for anything. Can't be seen as being wrong about anything. I wonder who that sounds like. What I and Mel did as admins was done with his direction, knowledge, and blessing. Bottom line, what we did in Austin's organization or why we do it is none of her or her boss's business. I will not give them the satisfaction of a public response to this or anything like it, even though you're doing it on a group with a ton of people, but it's okay. If asked, I will tell the truth as I have no reason to lie. She and her boss are constantly trying to stir the shit pot. That's obvious, not worth my time.
Now here's the thing, right? If you are married to this administrative group, right, and you're here, and then when you fire the administrative group, you rise here, you can make the conclusion that the admin group was the ones that were holding you back.
But it was not about I'm sure that Jason was very trusting. Remember, these are the same women that told him to sell his autographs for $10, right? So, like I said, they're a lot older than us. So they were not that knowledgeable of the industry, right? And then what happened was that they would bark at fans at conventions. They would um they would I told you, ask for money. And one of them owes me 20 money till this day. If the interest, she would owe me a lot of money if I charge interest. Um, and they would tell these sob stories and tell people, like, just use his fans. And Jason at some point figured it out and was like, I gotta get rid of them. I gotta get them down. So I'm just gonna read what I said. I guess someone asked me, Austin St. John's publicist Susan Matisse blocks people from following ASJ on Twitter and commenting on his Facebook page because they are known for starting trouble. However, she's blocked a couple of Team JDF ambassadors when they never did anything wrong. Your thoughts? Right. So I said, all I can say is to each their own. I know that there are people who deserve to be blocked, which is true. Like if someone's on here and just being disrespectful and things like that, then yes, block them. My admins here, block them. Like if someone's being just disrespectful, not having a conversation, right? Then block them because we're here to just talk. I don't want like everyone to have the same opinion, right? And then what did I say? But I do know what you're talking about because many people have said that they have been blocked for no reason. It's a shame that the fandom is being divided like that. I hope that one day someone will enlighten Austin St. John on what is being done. If he's not aware, of course. I think it's wrong, but the only one that can fix this is Austin St. John himself. You can be a fan of JDF in Austin. That's not an issue for me, but I guess it is for some people. When I came into the picture, I didn't really I wasn't a Power Ranger fan, right? That was a long time ago. I just looked them up and I was like, hey, who are you? Jason was probably my second favorite Ranger. Jason Lee Scott, not Austin, right? But so I never had and it's crazy because people always tell me, um, like, hey, uh, you you are Jason fan, you don't Austin, well, JDF fan. He probably talked all the shit. Jason never talked shit to me. I would only hear it like at the conventions, but like he sat me down and told me the issue. No. Did he sit me down afterwards? Of course. Of course. You know, and it was I just was there. I was grateful for the opportunity that Jason gave me, and I was just going with the flow. And apparently, they didn't like that. That was the issue. So, Michael Willis says, I went to a convention back in 2010 when they were with JDF. They were super mean to his guests in line, especially people who have special needs. JDF looked so annoyed of them, and that's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened. They would mistreat, and the same thing's going on. You can see the pattern, right? They're blocking people preemptively. You can't even say, "Hey, did you hear?" I'm pretty sure they're blocking people that are like, "Hey, um, do you know what about Jason's son?" Block. You don't even know what they're telling you. You're not giving them the opportunity, the chance to answer or to see, what's going on. And I think that that is the issue, right? And it's obvious that it's been going on for many years because this was like 2014 and it's 2024. So that was 10 years ago. And it's the same pattern. So if Jason Frank was the issue, he's no longer here. Why is your fan base shortening? Why are people coming and rising and coming to Henry's channel and coming to my channel and be like, thank you for finally saying something. Thank you. Because people are noticing. If you let people, Jason wouldn't let me run amok. Jason wouldn't he would be like, listen, don't even argue, block and keep going. And that's it. But it's just he lets them do things. He knows about their situation because I know from firsthand experience that that he knows what they do. So it's not, I can't even um I can't even defend or say anything about them because she said, "Oh, I'm not going to address it and I'm not going to say it in public." You have a whole hate group. It was a hate group against Jason, against me, and it sounds very familiar. That if you hate Jason, you automatically hate me. These women would, in this group, I mean, I'm not gonna dwell on all the negativity, but they would call me cow. They would say that I wasn't smart, even though they would copy everything I did. And it was a hate group. And I think you showed something, Henry, where they said, "Oh, um, if you don't want this, if you think, make sure follow Austin. Do get
Yeah,
balance.
like
You want
don't
the
follow Jason Frank or something. Like it was something like that. Something stupid.
if you could stomach Jason Frank and blah blah blah. Come on,
Follow
come on.
Austin because he's a real hero.
Exactly. Things got worse when they became his social media team. I'm 100%. And Jason got rid of them because there was no issues when they worked with Jason. When they worked with Jason, they talked crap about Austin. But then the minute that Jason got rid of them, they immediately switched to Austin's team. Immediately made up a fan page for Austin, which he then took over. You know what I mean? They would talk crap about Steve Cardenas. Like they would just anyone that didn't like Austin or Austin didn't like, they would automatically bash and go against. Look at I'm quickly. People are saying I was blocked because of this. They were rude because of that. Like a lot of people, and it's just sad, right? That that happened, and it's all his fault, to be honest. It's all his own fault because you're allowing them, and you're also obsessed with someone that's no longer here. You know what I mean? You're obsessed with someone. You're talking about him, and it's sad, right? Because it's not over. People say, "Oh, it's," but you guys are not. There's a behind the scenes. You see so much things. I get so much emails. I get so much. Um, I even go and Jason's Instagram, and people still write to him and adore him. And they're like, this happened in XYZ con. Austin said this, I hope his family doesn't believe him. Like, come on, you took a picture with his family. You think people are not gonna say, hey, you were talking crap? People are gonna do that. People are gonna, say it. You know what I mean? And it's sad. And, I think, to be honest, uh, there is no coming back for Austin, to be honest. I don't think there's coming back. I think unfortunately
Finish him.
it's done. It's done. Okay?
Francis with the soundboard. Finish him.
I'm learning, guys. I'm learning with the soundboard. So I feel like they hate Jason because he excelled. He really was for the fans. Was he perfect? No, definitely not. I don't think any of them were perfect, but at least Jason, you can tell someone whether they say it's fake or people say he didn't really didn't do give all away for free or whatever. He at least had such a connection with the fan base that he's been gone a year, and it's people are mourning, people are hurt, people are um still so people are still so sorry. People
Take
are
your
just
time.
his absence is heard and it's felt every day. And God,
I told you not to cry on goddamn live. I said,
I know.
don't fucking cry.
It's just upsetting. It's upsetting because he's not here, and to hear that people are still talking and people are, you know, going to fans and talking crap about him, like, just it's messed up. But then if I go ahead and drop nuclear bombs
Because you got everything.
and stuff like that, then I'm the bad one. You know what I mean? This whole Walter thing with hear it from the horse's mouth. People want to say that it's my fault, but like I mentioned it in passing, and of course, um, you know, fans want to see it or they want to continue the drama and all this stuff. So, I mean, you shouldn't be doing things that are not right because people are going to defend him, and I'm going to defend him, and that's they can call me his guard dog all they want. It is what it is. But yeah, I think that it's unfortunate that all these lies are out there. Um, I think my advice for him would be to lay low and
He
just stop lying.
can't, though.
He can't because he has a pending case, but because you have a pending case, you should be very careful who you associate yourself with. Who What you do, what you say is very important.
Do
Very
you
important.
do you think he's going to take down the Austin St. John? I mean, the Jacob Frank post on his YouTube channel.
No, I don't think so.
Do you
I
think he's going to address the allegation, his criminal record?
No, I don't think so because I think he does not want to admit that he's wrong.
Damn.
I think that he's not going to admit. It would be almost like another thing that Jason beyond from the grave one upped him. I mean, that's probably what he's going to think. I really think that that's what probably is in his mind. He brought there for what reason? And for what reason other than damage control and to um to even say I helped Jason's kid because he doesn't have anything after Jason passed. But you don't know the history in his life or his family. You should have thought, you should have asked, you should have done your homework. You should have been very careful because you're in the limelight. You're in the feds got you. The feds are looking at every your move. You know what I mean? And it's he won't admit that he's wrong because then it's almost like Jason won. And we all know he doesn't want that.
Well, I see that Scott Zillner took down the picture of him and Jacob.
Yeah,
The
he took it
website.
down, but he didn't take down the post. And he didn't down the video. I mean, I know that there was a post that he said that he was going to take him to a show, and I don't find that post anymore. So hopefully he doesn't take him to a show. Hopefully. If that's, if that was the plan to begin with. Dust. JDF isn't even here anymore and he's still schooling everyone. Let that sink in. I agree. I really agree. I think that you know what it is with that? All they had to do was listen to him. At least entertain him. If I see that, let's say your channel, whatever you're doing in your channel is working, right, Henry? I'm gonna be like, Henry, give me advice. Maybe if you, or if at least if you give me advice, even without me asking for it, I'm gonna consider it because I'm like, yo, Henry's channel's working. You know what I mean? So if you're seeing that that his actions are working, why wouldn't you consider it? It's because you're so into your hatred. You're so into, he backstabbed me 30 years ago, and that's the reason why I left the show. But yet you say you don't regret it. You obviously regret it. Because if you don't, if they didn't regret, or I mean, Walter has admitted that he regretted it.
He did,
And,
yes.
and if Austin really didn't regret it, right? You would not hold this grudge with this man for over 30 years. You would not hold it. You'd be like, yeah, he saved me from an issue. Not like Franken douche and blah blah blah. And
Backstabber.
yeah, backstabber. You would not care. You would not care if you really, um, if you really were content with the life you had after you left the show, then you would not have this hatred and continue this hatred. So that's my comment on that. And this whole situation. I really hope that he does take it down. Do I think um do I think that he will?
Oh,
Uh,
Arlem is here. Arlem.
do I think he will? I don't think so. So I think it's that time, right, to drop the link.
Yeah, maybe Arlem will come up. He's deep into the I'm actually interviewing him Thursday.
Do you know that I don't know how to get the link? I just sent it to you.
Invite people.
Oh,
There you
got
go.
it. Thank you. You see, guys, I need Henry. Henry's like the love of my life. And I need him always with me, because how would
Love
I
of my
know?
life. Love of my life.
Don't be saying I'm the love of your life. That's why you're getting in trouble. So, guys, we've dropped the link. Let's talk about anything you guys want. Let's just. I think I think a lot of people are like, oh well, if you talk about it, it's adding fuel to the fire. But I feel like if I don't talk about it,
You
if
can't
I
just
don't talk,
ignore it.
yeah, it would be like condoning it, and I'm not going to condone something that I'm not that I don't agree with. And I mean,
Yeah, Dante Carroll, hit the link. I
yeah, I
see
think you
you.
guys. I hit it. I post. How do I?
You gotta. I don't think I could pin it.
How can I pin it?
You have to left click, and then it should be an option to pin to the top.
How it says put the user in timeout? How can I put myself in timeout? That's crazy. If I put the little star,
And don't put yourself in timeout because you won't be able to take yourself out. In all honesty. So
I don't know how to. I don't know how to pin it.
it should be
There's a
3
star.
buttons.
I know the 3 buttons say delete comment, put user in timeout, ban.
You gotta click on the comment that you made.
I did. Look.
Or
If I
maybe
start it,
you maybe try to click the 3 arrows. I don't. It's been a while since I streamed. I don't know.
oh my god, I'll just. I don't even know. How
But
you
what do you guys think? Put a 1 in the chat if you've been blocked by ASJ. I'm blocked.
Oh my god!
I
everyone's
never posted.
Raise your hand if you've been a victim of Austin St. John blocking. So
Like,
yeah, ones.
Imagine that. Imagine you being like some super dono or something. You want to go, to a show and meet him, and then you get blocked.
Blocked. That's sad. And you know what? More people should be like, more people should be like, hey Austin, you blocked me. Go to the show and be like, yo, you blocked me. What happened? What happened? Like, why you blocked me? I would definitely, I would be one of those. I would be one of those. And before I bring somebody up, I see someone in the background. Before I bring someone up, right? Um, someone said you've never even met Austin and all this stuff, but there I pinned it.
Yay!
People people say that, but I met Austin when I was a fan in Ranger Stop Orlando. And we were at a hotel party. People be partying in the hotels, and he
Yeah,
walks
they
in.
be partying.
I was there. I think I was with No Pink Spandex. I was with people. I don't remember. I don't know if No Pink Spandex. I don't recall. I know that I was just there, and uh someone came. We were just conversing, talking, and to be honest, I don't hate the guy. I didn't have an issue with the guy. We were talking. He was talking. And someone was like to him, "Do you know who that is?" And he was like, who like that's GDF's assistant. Don't talk to her. And he did defend me. He told the guy, like, get away, like, get away. He did defend me. So he was, at least in that aspect, a stand-up guy. He did, defend me from the guy and said, like, why would you do that? But I think that that wouldn't be the case now. So let me add, hey, Canelo, what's up?
What's going on, my friends?
Oh,
I'm so
Kenny.
sorry. I am so sorry I haven't been seeing you guys. I've been over here working like a dog.
Oh, trust me, I feel that. I've been working 10, 12-hour days. I'm exhausted.
So what do you think about the whole endorsing of Jacob Frank, Kenny?
What was funny, me and my friend was sitting here on Thursday. He came over to my house. We were sitting and he said, Kenny, how do you feel about Jason's son selling his merchandise? So I'm like, what? At first I was thinking like maybe he got tired of carrying it around. Maybe he wanted to, sell it to some people so he could basically get to, have some money for the family. Till I watched you on Friday. And I was like, where is all this stuff coming from? I don't like it at all, because if he's a convicted that, he should not even be having none of that stuff. And I mean, I'm glad that Sky brought it to the forefront, because I didn't even know about it at all.
Yeah, I didn't know about it till Sky told me about it, and then I looked it up. So shout out to Sky for letting us know.
I know, right?
And you know what, guys? I was very apprehensive, and Henry knows, about even saying my opinion, because I don't want to be attacked.
I'm here for you, friend.
Look,
You
if
already know
he
that.
attack you, I'll release the other tape where he talked about some other stuff.
Because he has definitely, and I keep it on social media. I keep it, and it's my proof. If God forbid something happens, I keep it there, because you cannot support wrongdoing.
No,
Even
and
if
that's
I love Jason, I'll always love him till the day I die. But he never wanted me to support bad wrongdoing, and he would tell me, like, it is what it is. If he's attacking you, if he's attacking us, me, and Jenna, Tammy, then it is what it is. And hopefully, maybe those are days are over for him. But I don't think so. It's been a pattern for a long time. But hopefully I don't get like 1,000 text messages and people trying to, like,
well,
my phone
Fran,
and
I
stuff.
got something to tell you. Me and my friend, we're actually going down to the convention that's going to be here in Columbus, Georgia next month. He will be here. So I will get to tell y'all. Well, actually, I will send you a message letting you know what the table and stuff look like. Maybe you guys' messages are getting out there to the fans. Maybe he won't have nobody supporting him then. We'll see.
Definitely, I do see on Henry's page a lot, and mine, obviously, people think that I hate Jason Lee Scott, the character. I don't hate the guy either, like the actor
Mm-mm.
either, but people are my page is more pro JDF, I guess.
Right. And I mean, the thing is, me and my friend, we was actually sitting here actually contemplating whether we, because we had to put, like Henry said, you have to separate the characters from the people. And I told you I met him at Dragon Con, and I really wanted to get his autograph again, but now hearing all this stuff, I don't even know. I'm so conflicted, and I'm like, I don't want to get it, because y'all know Sky may be at Ranger Stop, and I love her. And if he's going to be there too. So how that's going to look?
I don't know.
That's what
I
I'm
mean,
saying.
I've never told people not to support anyone
No, I know
or
you
to
haven't.
support
I know
anyone.
you.
I'm like, hey, spend your money how you choose. Spend your
Yeah,
money
just,
how
I
you
mean,
choose.
it's your choice. Thanks, Ken, for coming up. But it's your choice, guys. But again, like, I'm not any like I'm not gonna tell you don't support him, but
Don't support, right?
you definitely need to think about who you're supporting. I think
Supporting, and
often
that's what we're doing. And that's why I'm glad I met you and Henry, because you know some of the stuff I have not. Here, you already know. You know, I'm just saying this.
Let us know, Ken. Let us know how that goes. All right.
You already know I am. And you know his nosy ass gonna want to know anyway. So.
Hey, you know I'll be wanting a good story.
So I'm gonna let y'all know, but I ain't gonna hold you up, my love. But I will see y'all next time. Henry, can I come on Friday?
Love of my life.
Huh?
Can I come over on Friday?
Who?
On your stream.
Oh, I won't be streaming this Friday. I got my daughter.
Okay, I'll come back to Friday. All right, guys. I'll see y'all later.
Oh, shout out to Kenny Low, man.
Hi.
No, you got. Hey, first of all, mute the stream.
Hey.
Hola,
Can you hear me
¿cómo
okay?
está? Where's the cerveza?
Can you hear me okay?
In
Oh,
español,
shoot.
por
Since the
favor.
internet's giving me some problem. Let me get out of here.
He in the DR. How's that girl turned up in your bedroom? You gotta mute the
Francis,
stream.
you look beautiful. You look gorgeous. And next to Francis, the man of the moment, Henry the Nuke Man. Resilient.
Hey, I'm just doing what I can.
No, I know, man. I know. Each and every time I open my YouTube app and I see one of your videos, I say, "Oh crap!" I feel like a missile coming out, like, wow.
But no,
Unbelievable.
the situation.
Hold on. We're getting echo. So you got the stream playing somewhere.
Well, on my TV.
Yeah, you gotta close that off or something.
You want me to go back there? Okay.
Or it's on your phone. Or something.
Well, I'm on the phone. Let me close the TV. Give me a second. I'm sorry.
All right, so I'll call you back.
All right, yeah. When they echoing like that, you gotta drop them off. And we got no camera. The sketchy.
No, I know. I know her.
Okay. You know.
Hey. Oh, hello.
Hey, how are y'all?
Good. How are you, hon? You don't have a camera?
I'm looking busted. Y'all don't want to see this face right now.
Oh, we want to see it.
But yeah, my comment was, letting it be real to y'all people out there. They're like, yo, Francis is the real deal. Okay. I've never been actual friends with Francis, but I know her way back from Troy, New York.
Yes. Don't talk to me. Don't tell me. Don't say where it was. But
you already know. She is 100% genuine. She has her receipts to back it up. She doesn't need to add fuel to a fire at all whatsoever.
And it's crazy because when I say way back, she knows me from way back. I was like 10, 12, God knows, like way back. And I didn't even know that she was a Power Ranger fan. So like, that's how crazy this community is. There's so many of us can join and come together and have discussions, whether you're Team Austin or Team Jason or Team Tommy or Team whoever. If we have normal, hey, there she goes. If we have normal conversations, then I think it's great. So what do you think about what happened this weekend with Austin St. John?
Honestly, that lit me up. I don't even know if you remembered, but I sent the videos to both you guys with the classic, "Hey yo, what the fuck?" You know?
Hey yo, what the fuck?
Exactly. Yeah, I was like, what is going on here? Because no one, there was people out there that didn't even know Jason had 2 sons.
Yeah.
And
there are people that are like, wait a minute, he has sons? I'm like, yeah, there were 3 kids before Jenna.
Yeah. And I mean, everything's for a reason. And I think unfortunately, he came out at the wrong time because he should have thought about his past, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
But thank you so much.
I felt like I don't know. I felt like they must have like bumped into each other, and I don't care. That whole video he made was towards both you guys.
Definitely.
I don't care what anybody says. He's talking about how he's a real martial artist and it's media frenzy. Listen, y'all to tool this topping on this media frenzy that they're talking about. So, like, who else is he talking about? Who else is he talking about?
Oh, I've never said ASJ versus JDF. All I'm doing is look. I say he didn't have 3 or 4 black belts, and then now media hype. I never
No,
said.
you're that
His stories don't add up. His stories do not add up.
That's all I'm
And,
showing.
you know, I commented earlier. I'm like, where are the people that trained with Austin?
Exactly. See, when he was like,
Because
I don't
listen,
name
I'm
names.
sorry. If I trained with any Power Ranger actor, I am going to tell somebody about
Oh
it.
my God, that's exactly what I said. If you were rescued in the war, wherever he said in the East, by
Exactly. Even if I was in the military with a Power Ranger, I'm going to say something.
you lost your limb and you were like, "Are you the Red Ranger?" Please contact Henry at henryresilient@gmail.com
I'm
or
looking for
me,
that guy.
it's francisbaby@gmail.com, and I will drop everything. Okay, I will get a babysitter in a heartbeat to bring you up.
I know I'm about to bleed out because my arm is falling off.
Yes.
But are you the Red Ranger?
Thank you
Like,
so
seriously,
much.
like anyone in the martial arts community, I don't care what style you take, if you guys trained or went to a simple class with Austin St. John, hit us up. You can even hit me up. You don't even have to hit Francis or Henry. Let me know. I would love to know who trained with ASJ.
We'll figure it out.
Well, thank you. Thank you
so
for
much.
coming up.
The actor.
Oh my
Oh my God, I hung up. I hit her. I'm so sorry, honey. The actor to ASJ was trained by my master, Ronald McDonald. LOL. You guys are ruthless. Let me bring up. Hey, Anime Freak 1983. What's
Hey,
up?
how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good. So there's something I kind of wanted to point out to people, especially now that some of them are saying they're going to see Austin soon. I want you guys to ask him, about his work with Make-A-Wish Foundation that he claimed when he was at Three Alarm Comics.
Holy shit! You're the
Because
guy who been emailing me.
yes,
Yes. Holy! I was supposed to have him on Friday, but it was some communication or something. But yeah, he was telling me about the Make-A-Wish. So go ahead, tell the story about the Make-A-Wish.
Okay, so there were some people there with children with a disability. It was at Three Alarms Comic in Biloxi, Mississippi.
Mm-hmm.
And just a casual conversation, he mentioned that he was passionate about his work with Make-A-Wish Foundation and similar to that. Well, I'm in a lot of spina bifida groups, and there was a person in there from that's a representative of Make-A-Wish Foundation. There is no reference to him ever working with them. Now, there was, back in the peak of Power Ranger days, there was a whole thing, they granted wish with kids on set and stuff like that. And he did something with another organization where he gave a kid a wheelchair, I
All
believe,
right.
with the Zord.
He was telling the truth. He was telling the truth. I hate to say it. I would never lie on Austin St. John, but there is a Make-A-Wish Foundation with him, and I found it. He was actually telling the truth. Yeah. I can pull up the picture if Francis want me to.
Yeah. How do you do that? How do I let you do
Hold
that?
on. I got it. All right. So you got to add it to stream, and you have to change the format to where it is. There you go. So there is ASJ guys with his Make-A-Wish.
Is this legit from the Make-A-Wish?
This is legit from the Make-A-Wish. This is wish.org. So put some respect on his name.
Also, he was telling the truth. I mean, he's not like, we're not here to villainize him.
I don't think he's an evil person, but he really did do Make-A-Wish. So it was in
Yeah, because the person I talked to said the only thing that they knew of was back in the 90s when it was part of the show.
Damn, man. The little kid wanted to morph into a Power Ranger.
Oh,
yeah. So, that's cool, though. If it's true, that's great.
All right. It's true.
It is. So, I mean, to be honest, we're not here to villainize him. And that was never like my intent or Henry's intent or Jason's intent. Does he have some shady, like, things that you make you go, yes, definitely.
Yep.
And I know you said that you had, like, when you met him, he was rude with you or something like that, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. The first time I met him was at, I believe it was Big Easy Con in New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
And now the con itself was kind of a bust. There was hardly anybody at the show. And there was only one person in front of me when I met him, and he was telling a convoluted story then about his time in the military. But when I met him, he was so busy standing there texting on his cell phone that it's like he didn't even care about talking to anybody. And I mentioned, fellow martial artists that we knew and stuff like that, and he just kind of, yeah, okay.
Damn.
And so that time I thought, okay, whatever. Kind of gave a bad taste because I've met a lot of Rangers, and that was my only real bad experience. Well, then he came to Three Alarm Comics, and as soon as he come in, he was making jabs at JDF.
At the
Just
show?
yeah, just casually in front of everybody. I mean, there was probably 20 people in the building at that time, and he would just say stuff like, "Oh, my co-star," but he wouldn't say his name.
But this was recent?
This was before Jason's passing.
Yeah.
Damn.
I think it was 2021.
Damn.
Like, I've gotten stories of, like, a month before Jason passed, he was talking.
Yeah. It was
About him.
probably maybe a year, 6 months to a year, something like that before his passing. But which kind of rubbed me the wrong way. But I still, I stuck around, had a good conversation. And it seemed like a completely different experience. And I questioned that about the Make-A-Wish Foundation because he mentioned that. And then he seemed super nice. We talked about the fellow martial artist, and I mentioned their style, and it's like he was oblivious to it. Yet he, said he trained with them for years. And it was even on that video you showed earlier. And then we got talking about pressure points and chi and stuff like that I do believe in. And he told me a very, very insane story. I mentioned it to Henry in message. So I don't know if you guys want to hear that or not.
How about we hold it off for the next stream?
Okay.
I would love it
Okay.
if we could do like a stream together, and you could tell me the wild stories, and I'll probably bring up, and not only negative stories, guys, it's positive, like positive stories as well of meeting the cast. So we'll definitely can you email me, or I don't know if I have you on Instagram.
I sent you a message on Instagram, but it says that you have to approve it.
Okay, so I'll do that. I'll look it up. I mean, well, I'll look it up today. If anything, my email, it's francisbaby@gmail.com. Okay.
Okay.
Let's plan it out. Thank you so
Sounds
much.
good.
Thank you, Anime.
problem.
Wow.
Just with
There
the
we go.
sun of shade. You got that shades. You about
What's up?
You tell us, Dust. What's going on with you, man? What do you think about this whole Susan Matassi street team being going at Francis back in the day?
Still to this day. Come on. Now
I
you're
think they're
included.
I think they're just upset because they weren't the team that JDF needed. And that's why, he dropped them, right?
Yeah, I always said if someone could take my job, then I'm obviously not doing my job right. And it's not even, it wasn't even, I wasn't even there to do that. I literally, like, I know Henry's like is gonna be like, yo, what the heck? I was literally doing it to help him because he would struggle, and he would text me and be like, oh, I don't know how to do this. And I was like, oh, I'll do it for you. Not with any intention. And that's why when I feel like I do everything from the heart, right? If people like me or not, that's on them. If people think I'm clout chasing or not, that's on them. If people want to twist my words or not, that's on them. I sleep easy at night. I sleep like a baby, luckily. So, I think that in the long run, true colors always come out, and I think that's what's happening with Austin right now.
Well, I mean, plus you got the receipts. Like if they try to come after you, like really come after you, you got receipts. And I'm surprised that they would even whoever the hell said, "Ooh, they're gonna sue Henry." Like that's the dumbest damn thing I've heard.
I know. I'm like, well, in order to sue, it has to be a lie.
And then that person's like, "I'm not going to show you who I am, but I'm very knowledgeable. You're no longer under contract." I was like, "What? I've never been under contract. What are you talking about?" And I think it's just people are afraid of what I have to say, right? But if you're afraid of what I have to say, why would you poke me? Why poke someone that you know is gonna? I have nothing to lose. I'm being honest. In the Comic-Con world, I have nothing to lose. If people like me, they like me. If they don't, they don't. I don't need a line. I'm not out here selling autographs. I'm not out here selling anything. Someone said, "Oh, you're making money from YouTube." What? Like it doesn't.
That's why you and Henry are dangerous to them, because you guys are not affected in their world.
Anyway, and I have a career. Have a career. Like, you know what I mean? There's nothing at all that would affect me, but it would affect them. And I know that people say like that whole thing about Walter. I literally am not trying to say anything or show anything, because really it's not going to affect me. It's not going to affect Jason. The only one that would have any effect anyway would be Walter and Zach McGinnis and Austin. Not me. Not me.
Well, I think. I mean, outside of Walter has been pretty cool, and he ain't even blocked me or whatever, and that speaks volumes. You really don't catch Walter capping, but I heard the stories about behind the scenes of being a diva and all that other good stuff. I mean, he will probably catch some strays because he's guilty by association with Austin St. John and that whole fan ordeal.
So Eric Pashal says having black belts and giving black belts are two very different levels. How many belts has ASJ handed out to people under his tutelage? There you go. You guys are ruthless with this martial arts thing. It's like people. I mean, I'm not a martial artist, but I was around Jason, and I know he was like legit. So thank you, Dust. Let me. I have a few people, and I have to go because I have a babysitter only until 7:30.
All right, salute to you, Dust.
Thank you, Dust. Let's.
Where all these people be at for my lives? All right, I know Sam. She got her daughter over there. Oh, that's some blue thing. They trolling her.
They are. If you've seen me backstage, they have been stop it. Stop. So PSA for everyone: when Francis and Henry tell you they have a bomb, believe them. When they say I'm not releasing this because it's gonna hurt somebody, yeah, it's the truth.
Oh, you're talking about the Jacob tape.
I was just talking in general because I've seen a couple of other things, and it's like, wait a minute, this adds up. Here's what they said, and here's the proof, because it's out there on the internet.
And it's like, we don't have nothing to lose. What could we possibly lose?
Absolutely nothing.
I mean, game people like oh, YouTube. We're not Henry, unless. I don't know something. You're making millions out of this thing. I don't know. Your biggest content is about Twitch, which I have no idea. Why would you this is a passion thing for Henry.
It is a passion thing for me.
It's definitely about Jason.
Yeah.
And keeping his memory, because everyone wants to say they knew Jason or they knew an image of Jason, but he told me he basically. First of all, he made my Instagram account. Guess who made my YouTube account?
Henry.
Why would he do that for free though? Did he do it for free?
He made it for me. He wanted me to build it and I was like, then the whole thing happened.
Love of my life.
people were showing up at my job. People were finding my job. People were finding me in the TSA lines. They were like stopping me, and I thought I was gonna go to jail because I was like, "What's going on in the airport?" Like, you know what I mean? So I kind of toned it down, but he always wanted to continue my social media. So
Okay.
I mean, it is what it is. Thank you, Stan, for that's the truth. I mean, I don't know why they would mess with
Thanks,
him.
San. We got bombs.
Yeah. So
Oh my God,
believe
so
it when they say, you know, it's like, hey, if they're telling you we're not releasing this, it's not for because we don't want to share it with you. It's because it could actually hurt somebody.
Like, think about if I had this on Jacob a while ago,
you could have
and
really hurt him.
I could have did it when he was harassing us during the JDF stuff.
Yeah. And the thing is that even though Jason's gone, no one's forgetting him. I know because I sent a picture to Francis today. My daughter went to her first con, and she sends me a picture like half an hour in. Hey, got something for you, and it's a picture of Jason. Like, and it was in the middle of the con, and she was like, "Yeah, you know, this is still here." And we're not talking like a major con.
There you go.
I was just checking. But so it's not like they're forgetting him. I know people who look at me and say, "Who is Austin St. John again?" And it's like, "Oh, he's the original Red Ranger." I hear noises behind me. And they're like, no, it's not him. It's Steve, the blonde guy. He's the first one. So there are people who still do not even know Austin St. John is the original Red Ranger.
Right.
So
and that's
it's really sad because
how is that not Jason's?
No.
You know he wants to say Jason's, but it's not.
No, and he's not going to. And the more of the stuff that he does, at the end of the day, you have to ask yourself the question: what do you want your legacy to be? Jason's legacy, he's the King of Cons. He's the Green Ranger. At this rate, Austin St. John, his legacy is letting people walk on him, letting people do whatever they want, and, you know, a criminal record. That's all he's going to be known for. And, you know, and I know I'm going to get grief because, you know, I do. He really I know he's never going to do it. He needs to clean house because the people around him are saying, hey, you know, we're going to make you this hero. And in reality, what they're making him is a disaster. And it's so easy like this to fix. You know, the strike, he could have.
He stuck with them for a long time through a lot of craziness. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen.
No, but he definitely needs better PR because he could have fixed so much and been the hero and been like this great guy. And it's not the guy, you know, I don't know him. I don't know him personally. I've never met him.
He could have reached out to me and I would have been like, okay, ASJ, this is what you need to do. This is what you need to do to clear your image. You know, I would have probably hit him with the Tammy package and be like, all right, you got to do that. You got to do that. And then everything would have been cool. But he got so much pride. I know what I'm doing. And I got to just blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like,
and that's going to be his downfall, his pride.
Pride comes before the fall.
If he thinks he's going to beat the American federal government, I don't know about that. He really thinks it in his head that he can do it. He doesn't like help. He's not going to admit that he's wrong. That's just it.
I'm actually worried for him if his lawyer is anything like his team.
Holy shit.
Because and I'm being sincere with that. That's not me jabbing. Like if he's trusting people who are pretty much making him out to be incompetent, then how can you trust that the people like the legal team that he has aren't going to do the same?
Holy shit.
You know, I'm sorry, but it's the truth.
That's sad.
Ooh, you gotta turn it up.
All right.
And I know you're busy, so I'm gonna end with this.
Thank you.
martial artists, they would never allow anybody who is not at least a second degree black belt to train cops or military. That's not an opinion. That's what I know for a fact.
Get them.
Because there's liabilities, and if you're going to spend, they pay. This is not like a volunteer thing. When you're a consultant, you pay for that time. And so they would never allow anybody under a second degree to train people who are going to see combat of any kind.
Get them.
Wow.
Well, thank you, San.
Thanks.
Bye.
I'm going to jump off here before she jumps.
That
So I have
was San.
time for one more person. Let me see who's on here. Oh, the answer. Hello. Let's go somewhere else. Maybe he'll let me know he's up. Hey, did you fix your audio? Oh, he can. I'll take one more person after.
Nope, his audio. He muted. You're muted.
You're muted. Hello.
Okay, how long am I muted?
All right, you're good now.
Can you hear
You're
me
good
now?
now. Yes. With no
I'm
echo.
good now?
You're
Yes.
great now,
All
brother.
right. Excellent.
Did you let the kidnap
Thank
victim
you.
out the room?
I'm sorry?
Did you let the kidnap victim out the room? I saw the bars in the back.
That goes. That's how it is.
That's how it is in the DR. Everyone just keep the women locked up in the bars.
No, not like that. Oh my God.
Oh, I'm American. We don't do that. What are you talking
Well,
about?
you should come with me to DR when I
Here
go.
you go. Here you go.
Love of my life.
Well, what can I say, guys? This has been, Henry, Francis, this has been pure gold. Nobody would dare to produce content like this. Nobody.
Thank you.
And no ranger's gonna come up on the hot chair. That's not true. It's gonna pry their ass. I'm laughing, but in a way, it's a pity because they could have been so big. ASJ could have been so big. Look, Dust wrote something a while ago that even after passing, JDF is still schooling people. San said something about legacy. I tell people that when people die, they speak or talk more than when they were alive, because when they're gone is when the truth comes out. This man has been gone for almost 2 years. Look at the tight community that has been built upon his legacy, how people are coming forward to defend his legacy. And I don't know, man, this shouldn't have happened. The way it happened, the beef. They say there is no beef. What do they say now, that this was only online hype?
Media hype.
Yeah. And I have long luscious hair. Look. Yeah, right. Look, mira. Look.
Oh man.
I think KSJ, I don't think he's a bad person, but I think he got lost in the show. After he left, when he opened his eyes, when he realized what he had done, I think it, affected him. Because when you listen to his stories, when you listen to his arguments, he always comes back to the same thing all over. You know what I'm saying? At least that's what I perceive. And it's, such a pity what's going on. But, it is what it is. And we'll just keep on, having fun for as long as we can with the streams, man.
You can still love the character. I mean, for everybody that says that they're like disappointed, the character's the character, the actor's the actor. I mean,
exactly.
I love Jason Lee Scott, the character. I love him. I love him, and I love the Turbo, how they were in Turbo. I love the Gold Ranger, but the actor is just not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
But thank you
But
so
I guess
much.
yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Thank you for coming up, man. You got back to the echo again somehow.
Okay, let me drop off.
Oh man, I love that guy. When is he gonna release his prisoner from the DR?
One more. the answer. Yes, there he goes.
The answer, brother.
My brother, how you doing?
I am well. How are you?
Doing well. Good evening, everyone. If I could just take a few minutes of your time to shed some light on a
You
few
have
topics.
the floor. You have the floor.
All right. So back in 1990s, the Gracies had the jiu-jitsu program, right? They brought it to the United States. They field tested it with the military. And then in 95, they created the Army Modern Combatives program. So the Army and the Air Force trains underneath that system. The Marine Corps developed their own martial art program, which they share with the sister service or the higher service, which was the Navy. And they have the MARCAP, I believe it's called. So all those services has their own martial arts systems. So why are they going to take a unproven, unrecognized person to teach the military? It doesn't make sense to me. We wouldn't take the liability for it. And this is coming from a 23-year veteran of the United States Army. So I think I would know. One, law enforcement agencies. I'll use the NYPD for example. They have a boxing program and they have a jiu-jitsu program. They ain't gonna get a so-called second-degree black belt to teach them techniques because they are responsible for the liability in the event that the application of the technique worked or did not work. So if that officer gets hurt, it falls back on who? The one who taught the techniques. Or if they did harm to a subject and that person dies, who it falls back on? The same person, second degree black belt. Yeah, okay. Me as a martial artist, all my belts are hanged up on a wall, and my main belt that I currently use is sitting in my gym bag. So anytime I go train, it's right there, not in no safe. Come on.
You don't keep it in a safe under lock and key?
No, definitely not. Definitely not. I'm just
Yeah.
tired of hearing all the stuff that I'm hearing. It's just dumb. Being very polite on my words, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Eric Michelle says you might help us with that. For every down you are as a black belt is how many years you have to train to test for the next. A fifth dan has to wait 5 years to test for the sixth. Is that
So
correct?
here's an interesting fact. I'll tell you from my experience. I started December 5th of 1995. I tested for my first dan in 98. I left for the military after 9/11. I tested for my second dan in 2002. I tested for my third dan in 2009. I tested for my fourth dan in 2014. I'm still waiting to take my fifth dan. So when it comes, and Henry, I'll provide the receipts. I'll send you the certs. So then that way, the proof is out.
Look, man. At
I
this
got
point,
nothing.
We believe you.
we believe you, man. We believe you. Any last words? Answer 06.
You may dislike the person who played the character, and you may like the character. Just separate the two. So, like for me, yeah, there were some things that Jason Lee Scott did on the show that I enjoyed watching as a kid. But then now that I got to know the person who portrayed him, they don't marry up together, but it's okay. It's life. It is what it is. Like I enjoyed the Green Ranger, and then seeing the interactions of Jason outside on his social media. Both of them married together, the same person. I respect both. So it is what it is. He has a way of, Jason Geiger has a way of redeeming himself. Hopefully he could go down that path, but we shall see in due time, do tell.
All right. Thank you.
So much. Thank you. The answer 06. And those are good words and great words, to be honest, because everyone, let me backtrack. Some things are redeemable, right? Let me put you down the answer. Some things are redeemable, right? If you are genuinely sorry, if you're genuinely learned your lesson, if you genuinely are honest with the fact that you messed up, that you want to change in a positive light. You can't keep saying, I messed up, I'm sorry, and continue to make the same mistakes, because then you're not sorry. You're not sorry. And I feel like Austin should try to redeem himself with his fandom, but there's only so much that he can do, you know, for his other things, like, you know, the PPP. If you did it, pay the crime, and, you know, do what you got to do, and, you know, that's that. With this that happened this week, I think he should face it. Face the music. If you don't want to face it in your page or fan word, you know where to
Well,
reach.
he might send out an email into the fan word group about it.
Well, of course, and tell them to make sure that they don't mention you or me, or the situation. Um, so I'm gonna.
Yeah, you got to go.
I have to go for Chanzo.
Oh, brother, brother.
I can't say no to Chanzo.
I'm sorry
right.
that I came in on the final hour. Um, I I I I'm so distraught with what's going on because I've said this multiple times before that Austin needs to just take a seat back and beware of what he puts himself into. And I'm like, another situation, sir, another situation where it's just you keeping the wrong people around you, and it's just you know I, I've got I've got something I'm going to tell you guys that I completely had no idea about, and it's been burning my soul. So, and it's only because they put it all out there. I didn't know about this, but so that website that Jacob put out where he, the eBay stuff. I bought something. I bought something before I knew everything that happened. He had it at a really cheap price. I wanted to make sure that he was not Nicole, right? Because everybody had known that all of that stuff ended up missing. And so I really grilled the person on the eBay page, like, who are you? What's really going on? Because I know that there's stuff that's been missing. So he revealed to me who he was. And I was like, okay. He asked me not to tell anybody. I said, cool, I won't tell nobody. I'll respect your wishes. Like, if you want me to respect your wishes, I'll respect your wishes. You don't have to worry about anything. Then he came out and told everybody that he was selling stuff. And I was even like, yo, everybody, this is legit. And then Henry hit me up a couple of days and was like, you're not going to believe what kind of stream I have coming. I was like, oh God. So I'm very like, I can't believe that he would, and I got these at a low price. When it was low, he actually tried to change the price on me. I said, dude, don't do that. And I even told him, I said, I don't think it's a good idea for you to sell your dad's items at such a high price to people. And I got the receipts and everything. I was like, I don't think that that's a good idea. I think you can get more if you keep it at a low price. He had this at a very low price and then changed it. And then he even hooked me up with something, but I had no idea about all of this stuff. Henry just told me about it probably 3 hours before we went live. I think it was Friday or something like that. I got this stuff at the beginning of this month, and I was just like, I can't even believe. So I would tell anybody to learn from, do your research, guys, because I feel terrible about what happened.
Well,
But wait,
as my sister would say, you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah. And I'm gonna leave you with a story that Jason told me, right? We used to walk around a lot, and like there were a lot of like homeless. I remember we were somewhere, I think we were in Philly, right? We were like a Chipotle or something, trying to eat, and like there was like a homeless guy just looking at us while we were eating, right? And Jason went and gave him food and gave him money, and I was like, you know, you can tell that person was obviously on drugs, right? And I was like, Jason, don't, why are you giving them money? Like, you give them the food, that's enough. Don't give them money. And he told me, he's like, what I give them is my karma. What they do with the money that I give them is their karma. You didn't know. I hope that we don't know, right? I hope he's using it, whatever he's getting, he's using it for legit positive reasons. And you can't feel bad for something that you didn't know. If you now feel so horrible that you know the situation and you don't want to purchase anything else, then that's a legit thing, right? I think the prices are ridiculous, to be honest. And I wonder who told him that, right? Who told him to put it that much? But again, I have a lot of people as well that I'm from New York City. There's homeless everywhere, and I give, right? And people are telling me like, don't do that. They're gonna use it for drugs, or they're gonna use it for other things. And my thing is, it's not your karma. What you give them is what I give you is my karma. What they use it for is their karma. So they, instead of using it for food or something positive, use it for something negative, their karma will come. So don't feel bad, Chancellor. That's not your fault.
Okay. All right.
You look distraught and it's breaking my heart, but like,
No, and I am, and because what the situation, the ending of JDF just sucks. And to see his kids come out, and you deserve to be a part of the legacy. You deserve to your parents work and left you something, so you deserve to be a part of it. But not if you have this kind of drama hanging over the name, and then you're trying to take advantage of it. That's the part that's not cool. And like I said, I supported Sky. One of these pictures I bought off of Sky, and I paid, and I bought a sweater from Sky, and it was cool. If I saw Jenna in the streets at a con, I would 100% go support her. So it was just that, I just wanted to help, and who better to help than the lineage of his children, so.
And you did it with a good intention and good heart. That's everything I do with good intentions and good heart. Do I mess up? Yes. And we all mess up, right? Turns out we all mess up, and you did it with a good intention. You didn't do it like for anything else or for gain or whatever, and I don't think you should feel bad at all.
No, you should 100% don't feel bad, man.
Okay.
He looks distraught. I feel
I'm over here with the somber Chancellor, like this been weighing heavy on me since Henry's stream.
It really has, because I didn't want to, I didn't want to like dishonor what I promised Jacob. And then when he came out on his own, I was like, well, you're not saying anything. You're not saying that he's the one behind the page. He went out and told everybody else. And then I was like, and I didn't want to feel like, well, if I go get these signed by the rest of them, is it tainted? And so I just kind of was like, what do you do? And I'm so glad Frances came on, because I actually had meant to send her a message, and I was like, well, she's on, so let's just ask her now. And so so I do appreciate that, because it is, and I'm sure Jacob will probably hit me up, and I'll just tell him like, dude, you out of line, dude. Like, you can't, and I'll have to deal with that chapter as it comes, but but I appreciate you guys.
At least I can tell you that that's legit. It's not.
Yeah. I got it, and I was, for the price that I got it for, I was like, dang. I was pretty lucky, because literally, like you said, 3 weeks later, and not even 3 weeks, he changed the price while I was purchasing it. I was like, you can't do that. That's not cool. But I'll throw you, I threw him a little something extra, and he threw me something extra. So I was like, all right, cool. And I even
I'm glad he stuck to his word and completed the transaction with you correctly.
Yeah,
me too.
That was fair. So I was like,
because there's no one to correct it now.
Yeah. And after Austin had posted the video, I even went on their page and said, hey, you guys, if you buy something from them, it's legit. Don't worry, this is not some sort of, in the words of you guys, grifter. So I was like, I want you guys to know, because it's hard to find legit stuff and know who's real and who's not. So I was like, look, I even told Jacob, I was like, I'll vouch for you, bro. But until that story came out, I was like, I can't do anything now for you, bro. But
so he knows about the story. He knows it's out there, obviously.
Yeah. He has to. I mean, this is the only channel.
Oh.
Come to Henry Resilient, the only channel where you will get the real behind the spandex. The true Hollywood story with Henry Resilient.
Oh man, that's wild.
And thank you for coming up and saying, and saying that how you felt, and we all make mistakes, and I don't think it's a mistake. I don't think you again, you didn't know everything, and you did it with good intentions. And same thing with Sky, you know what I mean? I just if she sells stuff, cool. Jenna sells stuff, cool. I just want them all to be legit and fair and true, right? And don't scam the fans, because at the end of the day, if they want to continue their dad's legacy, they have to do it the right way.
That is very true. That is very true. Well, many blessings to you guys. I appreciate you guys.
Chanzo, thank you so much.
All right, Chenzo. Peace.
All right, guys, I went over my time.
I know. Get me out of here.
my son, I can hear him back. I don't know if you guys can hear, but I can hear him like yelling in the back, like "Mommy!" But in light to just finish off, I don't know, Henry, if you have any last words. I think that it is only the right thing to do to say what is true, right? If someone's lying and and you are constantly being told like this is a lie, like he keeps talking trash about Jason, he keeps this and he said this and this happened and he lied about this and it's really this. It's only right to do the right thing and not expose it, but talk about it, right? I don't think it's anyone's fault but your own if you lie. I don't think it's anyone's fault but your own if you don't do your research and check out who you're endorsing, who you're following, who you're, I know that Scott from Paramore Fakan had posted something that he was going to bring Jacob to a show, and that post is gone. So at least if that's one good thing that ended up from Henry and saying everything, then that is the right thing to do, right? And I hope and I wish that everyone does the right thing, and be transparent and clear and stop sending,
The
spies
minions.
and minions to affect the channel, because at the end of the day, we're um Henry, are you stopping, Henry? Henry, are you stopping? Are you gonna stop digging?
I gotta get back to Twitch. I may take a
No,
break a
but are
little
you gonna
bit.
stop digging ever? Like
Oh
Twitch?
no. If people hit me up with I already got clips already loaded for the next Ranger stream. It's just
So yeah, if you don't want people to talk about you, then don't give them reason to talk. I mean, it is what it is. And I only felt that it was right for me to speak up. If I would have stayed quiet, I would have felt horrible. And and I wouldn't have been transparent with you guys. And then how dare I come here and say, and say my opinions and say what went through and not talk, even though I Henry could tell you guys I was kind of apprehensive about.
I was like, nah. You're gonna have to talk that shit. You can't. I told her, I was like, look, you cannot have a stream and not address the elephant in the room.
No, exactly.
That's what the other channels do. We got to separate ourselves from the other channels. You know who want to play nice and all the other stuff. Address what's out there. They'll act like they didn't see it. They'll act like it didn't happen. They don't want to bring drama. Blah 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 blah. But when you talk about it, it just shows how authentic you are and you want a fresh perspective, on the issue. Go to Francis.
Now, if my Instagram page tomorrow is deleted or likes hacked, you know what happened, okay? You know what happened, okay? Don't worry, I got a lot of protection on my stuff, but just in case, you never know. But thank you, Henry, for taking your Sunday and spending it with me almost 3 hours.
Guys, was I even needed in this stream? Was I needed? Absolutely fucking not. I told her, stream by yourself. I said,
lost a hearing. I couldn't it's getting there.
I'm like, stream by yourself. You don't need me. And then she was like, no, you got to come on.
Love of my life.
I was like, all right. I'll be here 3 hours.
Either that or
yeah. I know you owe me. We gonna have to take care of the bill at some point.
whatever. But thank you, Henry. Thank you,
All
everyone, to take your time with me here.
Peace.
Let's see. I will definitely do another stream maybe next week. But thank you so much for staying with me with all my mistakes. And thank you for everyone that came up. I want to bring more and more people up. I want to do like a stream of us just sharing our con stories. So that might be next. So thank you so much. I hope everyone has a good night, and comment below, like, comment, share. If you missed it, make sure to watch it again, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.